Greg Steube broke with their Republican colleagues. Steube didn't like the Senate provision awarding $500,000 to senators if their phone records have been seized in the Jack Smith investigation of January 6th.
That's Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. That Capitol riot probe led to an indictment against President Trump, dropped after he was elected again. Now, just for the shutdown now over, Republican Congresswoman Laura Lee tells Fox.
My hope is that Democrats are held responsible for their choices in this shutdown, that it is crystal clear that everything we just went through was the decision of the Democrats, the offer they ultimately accepted they had a month ago.
The House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries says
House Democrats will continue to fight to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits for tens of millions of Americans. This fight is not over. We're just getting started.
A Senate vote on extending the subsidies is promised, not in the House, though. They expired at year's end, driving up the cost of coverage for millions of Americans. Travel's not back to normal yet, even though air traffic controllers will soon be paid. Flights scaled back, nearly 1,000 already canceled today, more than yesterday. Civil rights activist Jesse Jackson hospitalized.
Jackson's organization, the Rainbow Push Coalition, with a statement Wednesday night saying Jackson was admitted under observation for progressive supranuclear palsy.
That's Fox's Chris DeMayo. America's listening to Fox News.
From around the world,
Trey Yingst joining us from Tel Aviv, Israel.
to Washington,
I'm Mike Emanuel.
to your own backyard. If a story impacts you or your wallet, we're on it. It's the Fox News Rundown. We give every story the deeper look it deserves with must-listen interviews and smart analysis from the voices you can trust. Start your day with the Fox News Rundown. Listen and follow now at foxnewsrundown.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
Hey, this is Trey Gowdy, host of the Trey Gowdy Podcast. Every Tuesday, you'll hear what's on my mind. Plus, every Thursday, there's a special bonus episode where we answer the questions that are on your mind. Make sure to spend your Tuesdays and Thursdays with Trey. Subscribe now at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts. Hope to see you.
America's listening to Fox News.
497.1 FM Talk. I'm Dan Buck. It's 5:03, and we've got a cool 41 degrees as you get out the door on this Thursday morning. A former police chief and a city administrator of Velda City in North St. Louis County pled guilty in federal court Wednesday morning, stealing more than $158,000. According to officials, 51-year-old Daniel Pauley stole the city funds for a variety of different personal reasons. He was appointed city administrator in 2021 and served as police chief for over a decade until that department got dissolved in 2024. Pauley faces up to 40 years when he gets sentenced in February. Israeli manufacturer ICL Group on Wednesday announced the $570 million battery component factory that was planned to be built along the city's industrial North Riverfront is officially dead. The decision comes after the Trump administration and their Department of Energy pulled a $200 million grant. The DOE said the project value did not currently match the consumer demand. Later today, 3,200 Boeing machinist union members will vote on the latest offer from the company to end that 70-day-long strike. The company recently upped their return-to-work bonus to $6,000, including a 24% pay increase over the 5 years of the new contract. If approved today, the machinists could return to work as early as Monday. In sports, the Missouri Tigers basketball team went on an 18-1 run in the second half. They blew open the game against Minnesota. Final was 83-60. The Tigers are now 4-0. Tonight, the 8-2 Patriots will face the 2-7 Jets on Thursday Night Football, and the Blues will be home this weekend. Friday, they will host the Flyers. Saturday night, they're against Vegas as the Golden Knights come to town. That's your headlines. I'm Dan Buck for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Partly sunny skies with us on this Thursday, and though it's chilly out the door this morning, it's another nice afternoon for the middle of November. 65 for the high. Temperature-wise, much like yesterday. Tonight, partly cloudy. It's warmer overnight, only 52 for the low. The evening should be pretty nice. Again, for this time of year, Friday, mostly sunny and wonderful. 75 for the high Friday, 78 on Saturday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Again, 41 degrees at 5:06 in the morning. Don't forget, as you head out the door, you can take that Marc Cox Morning Show with you anywhere, anytime, if you go out on the App Store and download that free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Welcome into the show this morning. I can't believe it's Thursday already. The 13th day of the month, and man, November is just flying by here, Dan Buck. I can't believe it.
This whole year, I just think 2025 has been the fastest year of my life. It's just been flying by. I don't know. The older we get, the more we rack these years up, I guess.
It's
Faster.
true, although the last week has kind of slowed down for me, but other than that,
the more I think about your injury and the accident, the more I think how darn lucky you were. Seriously. I mean, falling 6 feet off a blind with a gun in your hand and hitting a steel rail 6 feet below you, dude, it could have been devastating.
It could have been worse. I'm lucky.
Yeah.
I had a
really
guardian angel looking over me. But here's the amazing thing is, every day I wake up and it's just a little bit better, right? But I'm only a week and 3 days out from when this happened. I mean, that's the amazing thing. I figured I would be in horrific pain for a couple of weeks and then it would slowly subside. And as it is now, there's pain. It still hurts to laugh and cough and sneeze and all that stuff, which I'm desperately trying to avoid. But I'm functional. I can get up, I can shower, I can dress myself. I can do all those things that I really thought was going to be a problem.
Man, I feel bad.
Don't.
No, I feel bad because my Buck segment today is a comedian.
Oh boy.
Gonna make you laugh.
Here we go. I'll be leaving the studio during that one.
That's right. No.
It's a good pain. No, just proves that I'm healing up a little bit,
That
right?
is awesome. Great news.
Feeling better.
You look better. I can just tell by how you're walking, your pace. Your Monday, man, I was like, what are you doing in here, dude? You look like you should still be in a recliner.
I got to be honest with you. I kind of almost felt that way Monday morning when I got in here. I'm like, I don't know if I pushed this a little bit, but hey, I'm good. I'm feeling better. I appreciate you saying that.
You bet.
It's fantastic to be back, and when you do something you love, it's not like it's work. That's the great thing about it. I pop out of bed every morning ready to go, and the fact that it's 3 a.m., I'm oblivious to that, and I'm kind of back to that now.
Yep.
So I appreciate you saying that. Just a quick reminder, because the month is moving along. I was in my storage area yesterday, admiring that bottle of Pappy Van Winkle. Ooh, my friend who donated that, who said he had to remain anonymous, kept asking me, "Are you sure that's still down there?"
and more importantly, that the cork's still in it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm waiting to hear this half bottle of Pappy Van Winkle.
I've had it now for 6 or 7 months from when he donated it to me, and I put it in a special place. I know right where it is, but it's going to be part of the bourbon basket for the raffle that's going on right now with Responder Rescue, the Responder Rescue ATF raffle. You can't have alcohol, tobacco, and firearms without having the best bourbon that everybody wants. Now, I don't know if it's the best bourbon ever. It is the bourbon everybody wants. Everybody wants a bottle of Pappy, because this bottle I've got's $900 to $1,000 probably, and then it goes up from there. It's a Pappy 23 is like probably $4,000 or $5,000 a bottle. I mean, it's crazy.
Wow.
And it's just a shortage issue. I understand that, but everybody wants it. I've got that. I've got a bottle of Weller 12 that was donated to me. I've got a couple of bottles of Blanton's. My friends at Macadoodles are donating a bottle of that. My friend Carl Lund donated a couple of bottles. And just a shout out to everybody, Lore Wine and Spirits. Everybody's just kind of, They're just so giving.
How
this
about
time
the
of
lit
year.
cigar lounge party?
That's fun.
That VIP experience, and how wasn't it like for 10 or something?
Yeah, 10
like that?
people, 10 of your closest friends.
That's a party. That is a great place, and that's one of the 3 items. And of course, the gun is fantastic.
The range, we couldn't do it without the range. St. Louis West donating that 9mm CZ pistol, valued at about $500. So we'll have 3 winners. We'll draw on the 26th of November, which is sneaking up on us here. I need to sell more tickets. All of the money goes to Responder Rescue. I have been helping them out with this for years, and they do such great work. In fact, we're going to schedule somebody on the show who benefited from that. A former member of law enforcement had to leave law enforcement because of a jaw problem she had because her insurance wouldn't pay for the surgery, and Responder Rescue stepped in and helped with that bill to make that surgery possible. She's now working as a first responder again, not as a police officer, but as a first responder, and we're going to get her on the air here bragging about the great things they do at Responder Rescue. That's responderrescue.org, I'll point out. But if you want to buy tickets, it's really easy, and now you can get bonus tickets if you share your donation with friends on social media. You can get bonus tickets. So just text Responder to 33100, and you can do it right from your phone. That's the easiest way to do it. And we have it on our website, 971talk.com. There's a link there. If you go into the range, you'll see the signage in there in the range as well. But the easiest way is just to text the word Responder to 33100. Takes you right to the charity website. All the money goes directly to Responder Rescue, and we need to pump this up between now and the 26th. It's going to sneak up on me.
Well,
I've got to tell you.
It's
right.
easy. It's easy too. It's just I went out there and looked at the website yesterday, and it's just so easy to make your.
It really is.
Make your gift.
Super easy. Tickets are only $1 a piece, and you can get 10 or 20 or 50 or whatever you want. But please go out and help us out here. I would really, really appreciate that. All right, let's celebrate a little bit. How about that? The Democrats have agreed finally to reopen the government. After 17 tries, I think, we finally got 8 of them that voted, agreed to reopen the government. And the rest of them were mad about it.
Of course
they were mad when Donald Trump and tried to blame him for shutting it down. Then they are mad at their fellow Democrats when they voted to reopen it. What's that tell you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think about the 11th hour efforts to put in that lawmakers could get reimbursed for if they were investigated?
Well, I did hear that. I think number one, I don't know that anybody's going to. I heard it's retroactive. I don't know if anybody's going to go back and do that. If they did, my suspicion is they would take that money and donate it to a charity or something. The point is that going forward, a rogue prosecutor like Jack Smith shouldn't be able to go out and randomly tap your phones without you knowing about it, unless he has firm evidence of a crime. They were fishing for something with sitting United States senators, and they had no evidence they'd done anything wrong. So first of all, I want to know who approved that. Find me the name of the judge that approved that garbage to begin with. What they've done here is just said, if that's going to happen, you can't, with a wink and a nod, tell the phone companies not to inform the United States senators that their phone is being tapped.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with there being legislation about that. It was the reward punishment / thing. I think it should have not been some financial reward to a lawmaker who has that done to them, but rather a prosecutory consequence for any federal prosecutor who does that illegally.
Sure. I'd be fine with
right? That it should have been tougher consequences, not necessarily a financial windfall. $500,000 if your phone was, unlawfully tapped just seems a little extreme, and it also kind of takes what I believe to be a judicial process. If you're going to sue somebody, that has to go through courts. It shouldn't be Congress predetermining what the punishment should be. I just felt it was not Congress's place to set a dollar limit of what those damages were. That should be determined in a court of law by a jury.
It'll be interesting to see if any of those affected by it, and to my knowledge, they were all Republicans, would actually go back and try to take some sort of action. I got the impression it was just to discourage that sort of activity moving forward.
Did you get the sense Johnson was a little irritated by it, though? when they asked him his comment about it, he goes, "Yeah, I saw that got put in there." It was almost like, he wasn't informed until it was already like ready for a vote. And I felt like he just, thought it was one more thing to muddy it up. Just get the darn government reopened. Don't muddy it up. Don't put things in at the 11th hour. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of shifty.
I think, I need to read more about if there's anything else in there it would do to prevent that kind of abuse going forward.
Yeah, but it should have been punishment against a prosecutor who does it. That's my.
Well, hopefully there would be.
Yeah, but it wasn't in the law.
I don't know.
It wasn't in that provision.
All right. I have talked for a little too long this morning promoting the ATF raffle, which is a fantastic cause. But because of that, and I pushed us so late, I'm going to push the top stories here, the short list, into segment number 2. Ethan, how about that? We're going to get to all that for you. We got Tom Ackerman coming up. Lots of rumors about Drinkowitz going to Penn State. Have you heard that?
I have.
I had a friend text me last night and say, "I have it on good authority. Drink is gone," and I don't have that confirmed, and I don't know if that's true or not. Would they? I think they'd have to buy him out. We'll ask Tom Ackerman about that when he gets in here at about 6:35 this morning.
And another big Cardinal giveaway.
Yes,
today.
we do. This time, the Cardinal giveaway. 10 games, 2 tickets,
weekend games
to 10 weekend games. And that's going to be fantastic, featuring the Red Sox, the Royals, the Cubs,
I know,
and a lot of more. So we're going to give that away a little later in the show today. Shannon Bream, Griff Jenkins, it's a full show. All right, first, let's get to a quick break and our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, good morning. We've got a little bit of a slowdown eastbound 70 east of Warrenton. And this is all due to road work. And westbound, some moderate volume west of Wentzville. But that's it for this hour. We look great mostly, and that's throughout the entire area from North County to down pretty far south in Jeffco. And we're quiet on the Illinois side as well. Off to a decent start here this morning. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan at McKelvey Homes. Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyhomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
All right, just dealt with my friends at Victory Men's Health yesterday, and I have been a client there for years now, probably dating back to 2017 or 2016, and I love Victory Men's Health. You know, they've revolutionized this issue of a men's health clinic, because I think when it was new, people didn't quite know what to expect. What you need to understand is your general physician who does just a quick checkup on you once a year is not. chances are they're not an expert in men's health. What they've done at Victory is they've taken medical doctors with 30 years of experience in men's health, and they apply that to each and every one of their clients. You walk in, you get a blood test, they look at your blood panel, they can immediately tell what you need as a man to make you feel better, to make you more energetic, to make you bounce back more from injuries, or to go to the gym and get the results you've been looking for. It's easy. It's a really easy process. You are going to love their offices. Trust me, it's one of the greatest environments. Town and Country, there is one of their offices. In O'Fallon, Missouri is another one. They're in Sunset Hills. That's the newest office. And they're over off Greenmount Road in O'Fallon, Illinois. Call them up today. Tell them you heard Marc Cox bragging about it, and let them take care of you like they've taken care of me. They'll make you feel like you used to. Go to VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands, or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Rhino Shield is engineered to outlast paint by a lot, backed with our 25-year transferable warranty. Paint a house, shield a home. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, steel, aluminum, cedar, and more. We are the only coating company selected by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where all 3 episodes concentrate on unpainted brick. If you maintain or own a business with a tired-looking building, you owe it to yourself to look at Rhino Shield and our beautifully durable color schemes. Evaluations are free. We're making buildings pop and be noticed again, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks, exceeding expectations every day with our products, people, and performance. Now is the time to call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or go to 877-25rhino.com and see how honest and transparent we really are. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules. You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
This upcoming bill to release the Epstein files.
What you're seeing right now is what exactly is going to happen. Going to continue happening. Everybody's going to pull little piecemeal portions of it out, and they're going to try to fit their own little narrative. Both sides are going to do it. You all know it. You're all going to feed upon it. Let's just get the dadgum bill out. Let's vote it out. And the Democrats oppose me on it.
Yeah, how about that? Tim Burchett saying, listen, everybody's throwing a fit over this Epstein thing, so I proposed a bill that would put the whole thing out there. And the Democrats are being so loud about some email yesterday that they rolled out about Donald Trump, then voted against his bill to open the thing up. Seriously.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Yep. And ironically, go ahead.
I'm here today.
That is how sick and partisan this has become. You guys didn't care about the victims. You didn't care about anything else. And now you're saying, well, maybe Donald Trump knew of a crime and maybe didn't report it. That's just straight up slander and libel.
Yeah. I was listening to some sound bites from Jen Psaki, and I've got a couple other Democrats on here this morning talking about Donald Trump. They mentioned Donald Trump and rape without directly accusing him of it 3 times in the same sentence.
Right. And
my guess is more lawsuits are coming.
What he said is exactly the point I was getting ready to make. They redacted a name of a victim who's been public.
Yeah.
The girl has said multiple times that the president was a complete gentleman, kind, and was not at all involved in any of it. She said that, but they redacted the name to make you suspicious because they knew if they put the name in there, it would discredit the report.
That's exactly what they did.
I'm here today with a group of distinguished elected officials to reassure our friends at COP that climate progress continues in the United States despite President Trump pulling the U.S. out of the Paris Climate Accords again.
Oh, thank you, Barry Vesser, for being out there. He had to go out and comfort the world and apologize for Donald Trump not understanding climate change. And I heard Trump say yesterday, baby, we are drilling, as hard as we can right now because these idiots don't have enough brains between them to accomplish anything.
And he was speaking at an international conference where they all use jets to get there. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that is absolutely the truth. Oh, boy. Listen to this.
It's a disaster. And I'm calling today for insurance companies not to be paid, but for the money, this massive amount of money, to be paid directly to the people of our country so that they can buy their own health care, which will be far better and far less expensive than the disaster known as Obamacare. And
Thank you. President Trump yesterday, as part of the ceremony to sign the bill reopening the government, he also talked about, obviously, Obamacare, which is what the Democrats have been focused on, arguing that if they didn't use this leverage to force the Republicans to give away billions of dollars in subsidies to Obamacare, people are going to die. And the president's like, we're wasting a lot of money. Have you looked at the profits that these insurance companies have taken in the past 15 years since Obamacare was started? Let's give that money back to the people and let them go shop. The problem with this, Dan, while I agree completely with his policy, is that unless you can put some restriction on the money, that it can only be used for health care, people are going to have a bunch of 60-inch TVs hanging on their wall and new cars. Yeah. That's what will happen because people aren't taught how to budget anymore.
And all they scream about is more money to help subsidize these massive premiums. There has been zero effort by the Democrats to try to cut the cost of health care. On either side, they don't care.
It was never about them caring about that.
Throw money at the problem. Forget about whether health care is improving. Forget about moving upstream in health care and making people healthier, right? And trying to avoid a lot of these chronic diseases. Obesity is the number one problem in the world. And they do nothing.
No, their point
to
all
make us
along,
healthier.
Nothing's changed in 15 years. The point of Obamacare was for it to fail, so it forced the government to go to some sort of state-run healthcare system like England has.
Yep.
That's what they wanted. And Donald Trump, I think, has some ideas that are going to radically fix this problem. Back with Dan's segment in a minute.
Navigating healthcare can be tricky, but you don't have to do it alone. The Navigator Project is here to help Missourians every step of the way. We provide free, personalized assistance with enrollment in the healthcare marketplace. We'll guide you through your options, help find the right plan, and get the coverage you need. Go to ma4web.org and select the Services tab to find a navigator. Brought to you by the Missouri Association of Area Agencies on Aging.
1 in 4 Americans today are living with a disability. I'm one of them. People with disabilities are extremely talented, resilient problem solvers that have so much to offer. And we've got a trusted ally on our side, an organization we can rely on, Easter Seals. Easter Seals is leading the way to full equity, inclusion, and access to healthcare, employment, and education for people with disabilities, families, and communities. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours.
Learn more and get involved at easterseals.com.
Well, I was just out yesterday looking at the situation in front of my house. Obviously, I'm not doing much yard work these days, but I was looking at my electrical outlets because last year when I hung Christmas lights, I had to figure out, of course, you always have to figure out which end the lights plug into and which works. And then I found an outside outlet that doesn't work. So what do I have to do? I have to call Grasser Electric because I can't figure out why that outlet won't work. I don't know. I tried swapping it out and it didn't work, and I've got something going on there. So if you have any electrical issues, you're getting ready to hang lights, you have an outlet that doesn't work, you're trying to figure out why a light switch doesn't work, call Grasser Electric. They specialize in things like that. They can also rewire your entire house. 636-441-5200. If you're in the sound of my voice, Grasser Electric can take care of your electrical needs, and they do emergency service. 636-441-5200. Online anytime at grasserelectric.com.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Walt Disney Company reports earnings after the Wall Street closed today. Investors want to see how its theme park business is holding up. Also, Disney has projected more than 10 million new subscribers across Disney Plus and Hulu in the quarter, helped by a deal with Charter Communications and the launch of its ESPN streaming service. Jimmy Lee of Wealth Consulting Group believes stocks will be higher in coming months.
I think investors, are a little bit concerned about the bubble that people are talking about in AI type related companies and the hyperscalers. But for the most part, I think investors are very bullish, thinking about the bigger picture of lower interest rates to come and the effects of deregulation also.
Also reporting earnings today, Applied Materials and JD.com. Fed officials are speaking on the economy today. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
When I started skiing, I didn't think about setting any records. When I won my first race, I didn't think about how many more I might win. So when I made it to the top of the world, it never crossed my mind to stop. Being the best isn't the same as being your best. There are no shortcuts to the top, so find the people who help get you there. I'm Michaela Schifrin, and that's what Team Stiefel means to me. If you're an advisor or an investor, choose Stiefel, where success meets success.
Stiefel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Past performance is no indication of future results. Investing involves risk. Consult a financial advisor before making any investment.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Good morning to you. On the roads, we're looking pretty good with one exception. There's some, a slowdown on eastbound 70 east of Warrenton due to road work. But other than that, we're good. And that's North County. That's eastbound 44, eastbound 70, 6440. And we look good on the Illinois side as well. So off to a good start here this morning. Pretty quiet out there, which is perfect. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, I love what Air Comfort does for our veterans, and of course, it was Veterans Day this week, and they're always out there taking care of our veterans at Air Comfort Service. So if you need to get your system checked or anything like that, and you are an active duty military member, anything like that, just remember that Corey and the gang at Air Comfort Service are always there for our veterans. They celebrate the Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. They support them. And they love doing that. So don't forget, they do 24/7 emergency heating services at aircomfortservice.com. Whether you are in the military or not, that's a great deal. They just called me yesterday to schedule my furnace inspection for the spring because they've already been out and checked it for the fall. I'm part of their preferred partner plan. You can join that too. That's not a special deal for me. For $19 a month, you get preferred status and priority service. If something goes wrong, they come out. They give you discounts on diagnostic calls and all that stuff. And of course, they regularly schedule inspections twice a year. I love what they do at Air Comfort Service. Just go online or give them a call, either one, and they will be happy to get you set up and get you in the system as I am. 314-513-0091. That gets you to Air Comfort Service. That's 513-0091. Tell them Marc Cox sent you. It's aircomfortservice.com.
One of the biggest gifts you can give your family is peace of mind. That's why I trust and recommend Civia Law. They've helped so many families, including mine, right here in our community with estate planning, wills, trusts, powers of attorney, and elder law issues. I've seen how stressful it can be when a loved one passes without a plan. Families are left confused, sometimes tied up in probate court, and it can cost so much in time and money. But with Civia Law, you don't have to worry about that. They'll walk you through everything and even deliver your completed documents in just 2 weeks from from your first appointment. And here's something special just for you. Mention the Annie Fry Show, and the first 10 listeners right now will get a free strategy session. That's a $300 value. 833-995-WILL. Just be sure to mention the Annie Fry Show when you call. Civia Law has 7 convenient locations across Illinois and Missouri, including in Edwardsville, Swansea, and Creve Coeur. Secure your legacy and protect the people you love. Call 833-995-WILL. That's 833-995-WILL, or visit civialaw.com.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, health care, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Bold takes, real talk, no apologies. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis conservative. Buck don't give a f.
We're going to mix it up a little bit today. Thankful Thursday, of course, and I'm just thankful for the gift of laughter. And I know, Mark, you can't really laugh much these days because of your rib cage being broken.
Little battered and bruised over here, but I'll get through it.
But here's my thought. And I thought about this while I was down in Florida. It was actually Thursday. And I thought, well, if I was back home working, I'd be doing my Thankful Thursday. And literally, my side hurt, my mouth hurt, my jaws hurt, because I was laughing so hard with a couple buddies of mine when we were out. And I thought the gift of laughter is truly a gift. I mean, I think it just allows everybody, especially in a time when the stresses are high. I think life today, for some reason, seems more stressful. There's more anxiety. I think sometimes we get caught up in all of the social media and the politics and the economy and the social issues that we face as a society. And I think sometimes we just need to stop and pause. Every now and then somebody will pop up on my timeline, and it just makes you smile, makes you laugh, makes you forget about all the problems of the world. So today, that's what I'm going to share. I'm thankful for laughter. I'm thankful for funny people whose sole intent is to make people smile and make people laugh. And this guy I follow him. He's a hysterical comedian. And what I like about him is he doesn't have to get, perverse. He doesn't cuss. He just picks life situations, life memories, and he makes them funny. His name is Jeff Allen, and if you don't follow him and you just want some good humor in your life, I recommend you go out there on X and download a little Jeff Allen for your life. Here's Jeff on a little segment about childhood and being a grandpa.
They've ruined everything. Playgrounds. I took my granddaughter to a playground. What happened to playgrounds? The slide is 5 feet high, made out of plastic. She would go 4 inches and stop, 4 inches and stop, 4 inches and stop. That's not a slide, it's a scoot. Wee papa, wee papa, wee papa, wee papa. What did we have? We had a 6-story high solid steel structure. About mid-July, mid-July would hit a temperature of about 285 degrees. You lose 2 layers of skin on the way down. Another layer when you hit the ground like a flat rock on a pond. Come back picking gravel out of your thighs. Yeah! Now it's wee papa, wee papa, wee papa. I wanted to shove her down the slide. I did. I wanted to shove her so she'd know what an exhilarating feeling of sliding. And I felt 6 iPhones on my back. Go ahead, old man. We dare you.
Oh, he's good.
It's nuts. Car seats? I'm not against car seats. I'm just telling you, I'm tired of strapping my granddaughter in like a NASCAR driver to drive 2 miles to get a Diet Coke from the mini mart.
Yeah.
She's 54 pounds. I'm going to get a hernia hauling her in and out of the state. What age can you take them out now? 5, 7, 18? Here's your high school diploma. You get to ride home like a big boy today. I mean, come on. Car seat, we didn't even have seat belts. I walked the back seat of my mother's car for 4 years. She'd be driving, I'd just be walking the back seat side to side. Sure, every now and then she'd hit the brakes, I'd fly up into the front. She'd toss me back like a trout. What are you doing up here? Get back there.
Oh, the man's name is Jeff Allen. He is today's Thankful Thursday, where everybody just got to take a time here and there and laugh. And
I've thought about that, like monkey bars that the dome monkey bars that you could one slip and you're falling through 15 feet to the ground, right?
And hitting your head on the bars going down. You're trying to grab onto one as you're on your way down.
No such thing as like a rubberized surface to bounce off of when you hit. And the slides, remember? Because back in the 70s, we were wearing those Larry Bird shorts, those really short shorts, right? So you're trying to go down that slide. You're trying to pull them up so the skin doesn't melt as you're going down a 100-degree steel slide.
I remember laying your back on it. Remember, because your shirt would slide better than your skin, right? So you'd lay back up, but then when you'd get to the bottom, if you didn't get upright, you're just going to skid across the ground because you're flying at the bottom of it. Yeah, all the good old days.
That he's great, and I heard him do a skit one time on menopause, and his wife. He said, I've worn out 3 air conditioners. I can't get it cold enough in my bedroom. I'm in there under 12 blankets, and she comes in, and you could hang meat in my bedroom, and then she turns on the ceiling fan at the highest level.
Yeah,
he's a funny
and
man.
it's always everyday stuff.
Yeah, he's clean.
He's clean, but it's everyday stuff that you deal with, or you is kind of humorous and funny, but. His delivery, his timing. I love Jeff Allen. If you've not ever downloaded him or seen him, he's coming to town too. I heard.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great.
I heard he was going to be here in February or March. We'll keep you updated on
that.
Let's
look and see where he's going to be in town. That would be great.
But that is a comedian who also you could take your kids to and not be worried about foul language because he does keep it pretty clean. So we're very clean. He does. I don't think I've ever heard a curse word come out of his mouth.
Really?
Yeah. Which is rare in this day and age. Most comedians, most of their humor is kind of based in vulgarity. But no, good guy.
So for one of your segments, Dan, did you talk about a guy named Javier Desereau? Have you featured him in on Minority Monday or something?
I don't
like that?
know. I don't. It doesn't.
I've got this guy.
You do?
That is hilarious because he's going off on this Epstein email that these guys have released. With breathless anticipation.
Absolutely.
I've got this soundbite this morning somewhere from the guy on CNN who's reporting how serious this situation. Ari Melber. It's a bombshell confirmation of what Donald Trump did. Just play the first few seconds of cut number 5 there, please.
The bombshell confirmation, the revelations in this ongoing Trump-Epstein scandal. Donald Trump is in the Epstein emails. As Nicole Wallace and I were just discussing, that is now confirmed. Prior to this, responsible people, lawyers who deal in evidence, journalists who deal with what we know and don't know, weren't saying that yet.
Yeah, but they're saying it now. So this is Ari Melber. He's a hard lefty over at CNN.
Right.
And then I run across this Javier Desereau making fun of all of these liberals yesterday in the mainstream media on this. I'll play it here for you. Listen.
The House Democrats just exposed Trump for being with an underage Epstein victim for hours, except they lied to you. They redacted the girl's name because it would blow up their entire story. The alleged victim, Virginia Giuffre, was crystal clear in her deposition as well in her own self-written memoir that President Trump did nothing wrong, was actually very friendly to her. Did you see Trump and Epstein together? No. Did he flirt with you? No. And so on. These Democrats have no integrity, they are evil, and they have learned nothing from what the rhetoric did to Charlie Kirk.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know if you'd had that guy on, but he's got a Facebook page. I'm sure I'm maybe mispronouncing his name, Javier. It's with a J. Desiro is his last name.
But even to call it the Epstein-Trump scandal, I mean, that is such a lie and fabrication. I mean, Donald Trump was not involved in the email string. It was a email from Epstein to someone else mentioning Trump.
It would be a far better description to call it the Epstein-Clinton scandal, for example, who we know took multiple trips to the island.
Flight logs.
No evidence Donald Trump's ever been to the island. So tomorrow when we do the Capitol beat, I'm not sure who we're having on tomorrow, but whichever congressman we get on tomorrow for that, I want to ask him, what is it these Democrats claim is still being hidden by Congress? Because every time there's a vote on this, it gets voted down. The vote to release the information gets voted down by Democrats and Republicans because Republicans control the body. What is it that they believe is still out there that hasn't been released? I thought Trump had called for all of it to be released. I don't know why it hasn't been released.
And keep in mind, Joe Biden's DOJ had 4 years of these
4
files.
years, yes.
4 years of these files, and they had everything at their fingertips. You don't think that if there was a direct connection to President Trump that they would not have that released, 4 years ago, at least during the campaign in 2024, that they would have released anything and everything related to Donald Trump in the Epstein files? There's nothing there. And there's no smoke, there's no fire, and all they want to do is keep the narrative going, just like they did on Russian collusion.
I think so.
Right.
I really do. All right, we'll get to a quick break here. I told you we got Tom Ackerman coming up in the next hour. We'll have him address these Eli Drinkowitz rumors that continue to go. I was reading a Yahoo Sports article yesterday that Drinkowitz is the number, statistically, I don't even know how you come up with a number on this, it has the highest percentage likelihood of becoming the next coach at Penn State. I don't know why they think that. We'll find out what Ackerman thinks at about 6:35. Back in a minute.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Good morning. Really, the only delays we have are out west. One is eastbound 70 east of Warrenton. That's due to road work. And a delay westbound 70. It looks like this is somewhere between Wentzville and David Hochul Parkway, closer to Wentzville. Just past Z this morning, a delay also due to road work. But other than that, we are fine and still quiet at this hour. This report brought to you by the Diamond Shop. The Diamond Shop, making St. Louis sparkle for over 100 years. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, David Stokes, we had him on yesterday morning from the Show Me Institute, and this is a perfect example of why they're such a great resource for you. The Show Me Institute doesn't generally support any taxpayer finance support of private business. They're really not in favor of TIFs or any of this sort of thing. But they're also upset with how St. Louis County is now proposing to deal with forcing developers to adopt all these, requirements for minority contractors and all this other stuff. So it would be the first time that's ever been done in St. Louis County. That's why I appreciate the Show Me Institute. They're honest about this. They're like, listen, we don't support these TIFs. We also don't support the idea that if somebody gets a TIF, they're then tied to all of these cockamamie schemes that the government has come up with that's only going to drive up the cost to consumers at the end of the day. So if you appreciate that kind of honesty, you need to go to their website, showmeinstitute.org. There are great articles on there about that issue with St. Louis County, about what you should expect from your government, about school vouchers and affordability and portability. Just love what they do over there. Again, you can show them some support at showmeinstitute.org.
Police versus firefighters in the ring for charity. It's the 38th annual Guns N' Hoses event the day before Thanksgiving. Catch all the action as we broadcast Guns N' Hoses live on 97.1 FM Talk.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Yeah, military life can have its challenges, but sometimes veteran life brings more. While serving in Iraq, an IED took both my legs, but it didn't take my spirit.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
My name is Greg Gadsden, 26-year Army veteran.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
DAV helps veterans like me get all the benefits they've earned, and that can be a life changer.
DAV provides a lifetime of support to veterans of every generation, helping more than 1 million veterans each year.
Today, I'm an entrepreneur, photographer, and public speaker.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won. With the right support, there are no limits.
My victory is just being the best that I can be.
Greg Gadsden, thank you for your service. May your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
Cutting through the spin. This is the Marc Cox Morning Show. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
And also, I want to thank Walmart because they came up with a fantastic study. It was the cost of Thanksgiving coming up and the cost of Thanksgiving from a year ago under Sleepy Joe Biden. And we're 25% lower this year than we were a year ago. And it's a very inclusive report. So I want to thank Walmart. They've done it for many years, but we believe in that. We believe in that company.
Yeah, I just played that to troll all of my people on Facebook and YouTube who like to get on there, Michael Burton and others, and claim that that is not the truth. I defy you to prove that's not true, because I've got the Walmart CEO saying this is what happened. In fact, I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, that what he was talking about was George Stephanopoulos. I believe was the I think that's the bite. I'd have to go back and find it that he was talking about. So the reason I bring that up is Trump's right. Some of these expenses are down. We had a great conversation about this yesterday with our Fox News, Fox Business friends, and at the end of the day, all of these complaints about prices and affordability and all of that, the president's policies can cause prices to go up. Causing the prices of everything to go down is a lot trickier subject, right? Which is why I was really surprised when the president campaigned. He goes, "When you elect me on day one, we're going to take care of these prices." Well, there's only so much the president can do. By drilling more, you're certainly making more oil available, and you're going to drop the price of oil. That's given. As you increase the supply, the price is going to drop a little bit. The other problem Trump is saddled with is the inflation from the Biden era. Inflation, real inflation, probably went up 20 or 25% in those 4 years. Part of it fueled by his ridiculous giveaways on COVID and all those checks everybody got, and all that stuff flooded the economy with money. And of course, what are producers going to do? they're going to charge more because you have more money.
Yeah, that's right.
And that they're not going to start decreasing their prices because that's the starting point right now.
Right, and demand had outpaced supply.
Yes.
So when there's limited supply and it's too many dollars chasing too few products.
That's exactly the definition of it.
Yep.
So I just wanted to point that out, that when the president talks about that, he's right on the turkey front. Walmart, I heard the Schnucks people report that this year their turkey prices were 15 or 20% less than they were a year ago.
Yep, and eggs are
so
down.
Turkey prices are down, egg prices are down. There may be some things that aren't down. But not all of those are things a president can wave a wand or an executive order and fix. And you don't want them to be able to do that. You're in Zoran Mondami waters when you suggest that an elected official should be able to control prices. You can't do that.
Right.
You can lie like Kamala Harris did about price gauging, she called it one time, because she's such an imbecile. She, instead of price gouging, which was her talking point, she called it price gauging. We're going to investigate price gauging.
Well, it looked like gauging on the teleprompter.
That's how it read. That's how it read. I mean, come on.
Wow.
Here's the thing about it. And Dan, you did it for years on TV. When you're a TV news anchor, when you're a reporter, you often have a teleprompter. There's a script in there. Yep. If you haven't read, first of all, shame on you if you haven't read the copy before it gets to you, because sometimes it's filled with errors or grammatical errors, and you need to fix it as an anchor and then save it in the teleprompter. But you should also be familiar with the subject.
Yeah.
And if one of your talking points is on price gouging, even if the teleprompter says price gauging, you know that's not what you're there to talk about. But she's just like a robot. She just reads whatever. She's like Ron Burgundy. She reads whatever they put in front of her.
Trump's speechwriters would love if he just read the prompter.
Well, that's probably true.
He just tends to wander. He uses it as a guide, not as a speech.
He
sure.
definitely does that.
Yes.
For sure. All right, the government is back open. We're going to get you a live report from Washington from Ryan Schmelz, see how quickly this is likely to clear up problems with the airport. My wife is flying out tomorrow. She's a little nervous about it. Are we going to get everybody back to work? We'll get to all that and more for you, and the Cardinal ticket giveaway coming up. Stay tuned.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25-plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, IGotFloor.com.
Annie Fry here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They are the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. So tell them today, I love you. Get screened. It could help save their life. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn more.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for the Doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. We call them the Doctors because they've treated more than 250 doctors, more than any other practice in St. Louis. So if you're looking for the best doctors for your best vision, it's Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. Doctors Birdie and Malhotra are cornea surgeons and experts in the diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye. I had an eye disease when I was younger. It left me with a silicone buckle around my right eye, so I put my trust in Ophthalmology Associates to take care of my annual checkups. Maybe you're experiencing dry eye, allergy eyes. They can help. They can help with cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma, and LASIK surgeries. And if you're looking for the best eye care, it's Ophthalmology Associates. Make an appointment today by calling 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com. They have a great office location just west of 270 on Manchester Road. Again, the phone number, 314-966-5000. The website, youridoc.com. Ophthalmology Associates.
License number E2014A.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Dad, that's what Grandpa Rip always said.
That's right. 50 years ago, Grandpa started Grasser. And whenever a customer called, he'd smile and say, Hey, it's good to see you.
Hey, it's good to see you.
It was his way of treating people like neighbors, not numbers. That's why we still say it today.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
Hey, it's good to see you.
This Saturday, the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis is hosting a large-scale food distribution for SNAP recipients, recent tornado victims, and anyone in need.
Hi, this is Michael McMillan, President and CEO of the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis. We will be distributing up to $300,000 worth of food, toiletries, PPE, and other resources for up to 3,000 people.
Presented by the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis, supporting families, strengthening communities.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
This is a Fox News alert. The government is back open. I'm Dave Anthony. Right after the House joined the Senate approving funding for the government, President Trump signed it last night, ending the longest ever shutdown. He blames Democrats for.
We're sending a clear message that we will never give in to extortion, because that's what it was.
The bill funds the government through January 30th and SNAP food assistance through September. Fox's Mark Meredith is at the Capitol.
6 Democratic House members voting with the majority of the Republican caucus to reopen the government. Many Democrats are still furious with a handful of their Senate colleagues who voted to end the shutdown despite not getting anything for their biggest demand, which was more money to help cover Obamacare insurance plans.
Democrats keep pushing to extend expiring Obamacare tax credits, which will have millions of Americans paying more next year. GOP Congresswoman Laurel Lee tells Fox.
Republicans are committed to driving down the cost of premiums, to making health care affordable, quality coverage.
Travel is still affected, even though air traffic controllers will get paid. Almost 1,000 flights canceled again today, nearly 500 delayed. But Fox Business Network's Grady Trimble at Reagan National Airport near D.C. says that is going to get better.
Even just the hope of the government reopening improved staffing levels at air traffic control facilities across the country compared to the previous few days.
A new Democrat joined her party, voting no on funding after Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva was finally sworn in, something the shutdown delayed. She had won a special election September 23rd in Arizona to replace her late father, Raul, who died in March.
I will sign the discharge petition right now to release the Epstein files.
Now, the House will vote on that next week in the search for more information and clients in the late Jeffrey Epstein's underage girls sex trafficking scheme. Lawmakers have released more documents. President Trump keeps calling it a hoax, and White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says
Jeffrey Epstein was a member at Mar-a-Lago until President Trump kicked him out because Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile and he was a creep.
America's listening to Fox News.
This month, Pure Talk is supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat vets struggling with PTSD. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. Sure, I like the unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and you will too. But you will love being in business with a company that shares your values. Dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
497.1 FM Talk, I'm Dan Bach. It is 6:03 and we've got 41 degrees. A former police chief and city administrator of Velda City in North St. Louis County pled guilty in federal court Wednesday morning to 3 felony counts of theft. According to officials, 51-year-old Daniel Pauley stole more than $158,000 in city funds. He was appointed city administrator in 2021. He served as police chief for over a decade until that department was dissolved in 2024. Pauley faces up to 40 years in prison when he gets sentenced in February. Israeli manufacturer ICL Group on Wednesday announced the $557 million battery component factory that was planned to be built along the city's industrial North Riverfront is officially dead. The decision comes after the Trump's Department of Energy pulled a $200 million grant for the project. DOE said the project value did not currently match the consumer demand. Later today, 3,200 Boeing machinist union members will vote on the latest offer from the company to end that 70-day-long strike. The company recently upped their return-to-work bonus to $6,000, and that includes that 24% base pay increase over the 5 years of the new contract. If approved today, the machinists could return to work as early as Monday. In sports, Missouri Tigers on the basketball court last night went on an 18-1 run. They blew open the game against Minnesota, winning 83-60. Tigers now 4-0. Tonight, the 8-2 Patriots will face the 2-7 Jets on Thursday Night Football. The Blues return to action tomorrow night as they'll play host to the Flyers. That's your headlines. I'm Dan Buck for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
We are looking good on the roads this morning. They've been picking up that overnight road work, so we're looking better on westbound 70 near Wentzville Parkway. Now, there was a little bit of volume westbound as kind of between Wright City and approaching Warrenton, but that's it. Other than that, we're good. 55, still in great shape this morning. 44 eastbound looks good. And we are quiet on the Illinois side if you're headed in on the bridges downtown. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Partly sunny skies with us on this Thursday, and though it's chilly out the door this morning, it's another nice afternoon for the middle of November. 65 for the high. Temperature-wise, much like yesterday. Tonight, partly cloudy. It's warmer overnight, only 52 for the low. The evening should be pretty nice. Again, for this time of year, Friday, mostly sunny and wonderful. 75 for the high Friday, 78 on Saturday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Thanks, Dave. That warm-up's already starting. We've gone from 41 to 42 degrees at 6:06. Don't forget, you can take the Marc Cox Morning Show with you anywhere, anytime. All you need to do is go out to the App Store and download the free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
All right, welcome back into the Marc Cox Morning Show. It's a Thursday. We're glad you are with us today. Dan, it's funny, you did your segment earlier on comedy and laughing and how that can kind of, brighten your day, and sometimes you have to get away from all the serious stuff like government shutdowns and all. You know what today is? No. I just want you. So when you go to get gas or a cup of coffee, or you go through the McDonald's drive-thru later, today is World Kindness Day, because every day is something.
There you go. That's why I put comedy in my Thankful Thursday.
Apparently, it's World Kindness Week.
Wow.
So I don't know what's exactly
whole week.
It does.
Wow.
Maybe we don't blow up any drug boats this week. What do you think? It's World Kindness Week.
We're
going to let you sneak a little fentanyl across the border there. I don't think so.
Yeah.
That's the ridiculousness of that.
It should be like kindness every day. Unfortunately, we've kind of gotten away from that a little bit. But, I'm almost sometimes afraid, and it's sad because I love making contact. I love smiling at people, just an encouraging way to greet people when you're out and about, including total strangers. But sometimes, I feel like people, I don't know. It's a weird.
Don't appreciate it?
They don't appreciate it. And
don't acknowledge it?
Well, even sometimes they resent it. Like they don't want you to be kind to them. I held a door for a woman one time, just recently, like 2 weeks ago. And she said, I can get my own door, thank you.
Oh,
and I went,
my goodness.
Okay, I said.
Really?
Yeah. And I go, and that's okay. That's how she.
I might follow that up. Well, then blank you very much. I'm sorry, but that might come out of my mouth at that point. I'm trying to be nice, and that's the attitude I get. I'm trying to I'm trying to express my masculinity to you by opening the door for you because you're just a weak woman who can't open it. Or maybe, and I know this will be controversial, I'm just being nice because that's how I was raised.
Yeah, but some people take it differently, I guess. But that's what I'm saying. You in this day and age, it's weird how you can't be yourself. You can't sometimes be kind because people don't react well to kindness. They think you got some agenda or something up your or you're a chauvinist because you're holding a door for someone. And I'm like, but I think that's why people become callous. I think that's why people aren't overtly kind to people they don't know because we're in a day and age that people don't accept it well. I don't know. It's weird, but hey, today's National Kindness Day. Pay for that car behind you. Have you ever done that? I've done that before.
I have done that.
It's fun. I had a carload of like 9 kids, and his mom had a load of kids in there. And I thought, if I ever was going to do it, this would be the time to do it. So I did it. I don't know what it.
I saw somebody one time. I don't know if they actually did it or not. They said the person behind them was beeping at him because they were taking too long to order. So when they got up to the window, they said, just to be kind, I want to pay for that person's order behind me. And then they took both orders. Drove off with both of them. I don't know if you could. I don't know McDonald's will let you get away with that or not. But
that's mean.
There you go.
That's great.
That'll drive it home. You know what made me think of that? I was driving down the road the other day, and I grew up. My dad was he had a CB radio, and he was talking to the truck drivers and all this all the time. And there used to be just a courtesy if you're pulling, because I pull a camper a lot. If I'm going to change lanes and pull back in front of a tractor trailer or something like that, I'll always put my turn signal on it and kind of wait for them to flash their lights to let me know that they think I'm far enough ahead of them to pull over. Most of them don't do that anymore.
No.
Or sometimes they'll put a blinker on and get in front of you, or you flash your lights and they click their lights to thank you for that. They don't do that anymore. And I don't know where that common courtesy has gone to. Then I come across this story, and I have a suspicion. The California DMV has admitted to illegally issuing 17,000 commercial driver's licenses to foreign drivers.
What?
Commercial, which is a CDL.
That's what I mean.
Which lets you drive a tractor trailer.
17,000 to non-citizen, illegal, not documented people.
Yes.
So not green card.
The DMV confessed to handing out 17,000 non-domiciled commercial driver's license to foreign drivers who had no business operating massive semi-trucks or buses on American soil.
How can they not be held accountable, especially for these deadly crashes that have occurred?
The discovery came as part of Sean Duffy's look into an ongoing audit by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration.
It's just
wow. And each of them have now been notified that their license will expire within 60 days if they don't meet federal requirements that you have to be able to read English. And on a road sign, if you're going to operate, that should be a basic. You should have to speak the language if you're going to drive a 17,000-pound tractor trailer across the highway.
So does that give you the right, if they cause an accident, can you sue the California government?
See, that's
I
what
don't know.
That's what
seems like I would. I mean, the guy in Florida who killed those people, and
that's what I'm saying.
You issued that person illegally a CDL without the proper testing and knowingly issued. I don't know how you're not liable for that. I don't know if you were the one who put this person on the road.
You see those those signs as you're going across the country with all those attorneys trying to get the attention of truckers. Been in an accident, call me. But hammer down. I'll put the hammer down on them or something like that. So maybe that's it. Maybe somebody will sue the pants off of them. I don't know. That just struck me as a little scary. When you think about it, what's going on the roads. Yeah. All right, coming up, we're going to get Tom Ackerman, bottom of the hour. I guess the big story this morning is probably that Mizzou's football season isn't over. Obviously, they're going to get a bowl bid, but the coach may be headed to Penn State, are all the rumors. And I don't know what stock Tom puts in those rumors or not, but the article I read yesterday on a legitimate sports website said that he was the leading contender right now And he might just say no. I mean, I don't have any inside knowledge on it, but I'm anxious to hear what Tom Ackerman thinks about the whole thing. And what does it do if you're in the portal right now recruiting players for next year? I don't know the answer to that. We got Ryan Schmelz coming up at the top of the next hour to talk about how quickly government services will be reestablished, particularly with the Transportation Security Administration, air traffic controllers, things like that, to get the system back in order. They're still at about 6% cancellations right now for airlines. And now that the money is flowing, I heard the other day that within 72 hours, all those air traffic controllers will get a check, at least a partial check, and anything else that they're owed would come in the next check. So they're going to be made whole pretty quickly. So we'll get to Ryan on that at the top of the hour. And, of course, we got our big Cardinal ticket giveaway. 10 games, 2 tickets to each game for a bunch of weekend games next year,
and not
Friday
just
through Sunday games.
Any games. You got the Red Sox, the Royals, the Cubs.
Yeah,
in this
it's a good package.
Really good package.
We're going to do that, I'll tell you, in the 7 o'clock hour this morning. So please stay tuned for that. We'll be giving that away. Right now, Ethan, let's get to our top stories, please.
The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
Well, good evening, everybody. We feel very relieved tonight. The Democrat shutdown is finally over, thanks to House and Senate Republicans who stood together to get the job done. Absolutely no question in anybody's mind now that the Democrats were responsible for this.
Yeah, thank you, Mike Johnson, just laying it out yesterday. Yesterday, he swore in a new member of Congress from Arizona, right? And the minute she got sworn in, she went on the House floor and blasted him, just called him everything but a decent human being. You should have heard the nice comments he made about her. Mike Johnson is a class act.
It's been a year ago, after we lost the election, a lot of those parts and part of those ideas pushed our party over the cliff. And that's why we're in this situation right now. That's why we're firmly in the minority. And that's why we've lost control of the White House.
John Fetterman, Democrat from Pennsylvania, laying it out. The democratic socialism, he says, has ruined our party, and it's why we are completely out of power right now.
This CR, this dirty CR, which does nothing to solve the healthcare crisis, is one of the most immoral, unethical, evil things that I have ever seen happen in all my time in Congress.
Jim McGovern, who probably just voted against a bill that he's voted for in the past, now says it's the most evil thing he's ever seen. These people will go to no ends to lie to achieve what they want.
So much money is involved, and we're willing to pay so much money to the people. So we're going to pay a lot of money to the people. They're going to go out and buy their own health care, and we're going to forget this Obamacare madness.
How about that? Donald Trump says he's going to send you a check. Go buy your own health care. Here's a great thing I'd mention about that. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, my friend Bill Pauley is going to join us. He works in the insurance industry. He is a broker. There are plenty of plans out there you can buy that are not Obamacare, that are considerably less expensive. And it sounds like what the Republicans are trying to do is boost those options for you so you don't have to go. If you're not going to get that subsidy anymore and you're looking to save some money, there are options out there. We're going to talk to Bill from the Pauley Agency coming up at about 8:45 this morning. So stay tuned for that. Some good information there for you. A quick break. We're back in just a minute.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Gosh, beautiful sunrise out there this morning. I just posted it on X. It's 64 at Lindbergh looking east. Oh, nice. And we are pretty quiet on the roads at this hour. If you're eastbound on 70, things look great from Wentzville into downtown. 64 has picked up some volume, especially at Winghaven to a point just east of there. But then things open up. Northbound 270 still looking good. And 55 is in good shape. There's some moderate volume down at 67, and then things open up. So not bad at all. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. I was going to say this report brought to you, but it's just by me. On 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan of McKelvey Homes.
Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
When I saw my friend Curtis Carell yesterday, he was dressed like an elf. I'm like, are you kidding me? He had the socks on, the pants, everything. He's just a great guy. And right now what they're doing at Carell Roofing is partnering with the folks at Sergeant Sparkles to install Christmas lights, right? I mean, when it gets this cold, when you get into the colder weather, it's tough to put a roof on. So here's what they're doing. Now, here's what I got to tell you about this. It's a great deal because they're roofers. So when they're getting on your roof, they know what shoes to wear. They know what to look for. If when they're putting your lights up, they notice a problem, something that needs to be caulked, a shingle that's out of place, they're going to fix it at no cost to you to get you through the winter. That's the advantage of working with a roofer to do this. Plus, you're going to get beautiful Christmas lights on your house, and it's going to be fantastic. I love what they do. And here's what they do that's different from some of these other installers, because a lot of them are landscape companies and all that. Many of them will put the lights up and then tell you we're going to take them and store them for you. Well, you don't own the lights, so if you want them next year, you got to pay them to get them out of storage and come out and put them on again. Not with Sergeant Sparkles. They make the lights to fit your house, and then they give them to you. So if next season you decide that's not what you're going to do, that's on you. You're not hooked into anything there, and I think that is a big distinction between what they're doing and some of these other Christmas lighting companies. So reach out to Curtis, the elf, at Carell Roofing, and let him come over, and they'll give you a great estimate on putting Christmas lights up on your house. They'll get it done quickly and professionally by Carell Roofing. 314-222-9529. That's 314-222-9529. Or go online to CorellRoofingCo.com.
Hey guys, Sig Glockencolt here with Tactical in St. Peter's. Did you know it's legal for you to own certain types of flashbangs, smoke grenades, or even pepper grenades? Stop in today and find out how you can share one with your local Antifa chapter. Tactical Cave Springs in St. Peter's.
This is Todd Nissenholtz of Kaufman Townsend. When I tell people who get in a crash, call a lawyer. But I often hear, I'm not the suing type. Listen, there are all types of people. Personally, I'm not the getting screwed type. If you're not the getting screwed type, call my firm, and we'll make sure that doesn't happen to you. Call Kaufman Townsley. Real people, real results. 314-500-5000. That's 314-500-5000.
First responders get in the ring for the 38th Budweiser Guns N' Hoses presented by Stiefel. It's the biggest holiday party of the year, the night before Thanksgiving at Enterprise Center. Get your tickets now at STLGunsandHoses.com. It's go time.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Implicate the men, the wealthy and powerful men that abuse and rape children and women. And let's not forget that at the end of the day, this is not just about Donald Trump. We want to know the truth there. But there are powerful men right now walking free that have raped girls and that there's been no consequences. And it is outrageous that Donald Trump is hiding this, hiding the facts, that the Department of Justice is hiding the facts, and that Mike Johnson and Republicans are complicit in supporting what Donald Trump is doing.
Yeah, Robert Garcia is that guy's name, Democrat who went on there. Now, you notice what he did there because it was very intentional. Very intentional. I don't know if Trump's lawyers could find a way to sue him over it or not, but he mentions Donald Trump's name 3 times, tries to tie him to Epstein, and then mentions rape and pillaging and all of these of young girls and children and blah, 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 abuse, and like all of these words combined with Trump 3 different times to insinuate that somehow Donald Trump has participated in any of that. And what happened yesterday was there was no evidence of anything about Donald Trump being guilty of anything. And an old email that where Epstein mentions Trump in it, the Democrats point that out, and then the Republicans just had to point out, well, when you chose to release this, why did you redact the name of the victim? Because it wasn't redacted when it was in the House Oversight Committee. Well, the reason was what Dan said earlier. They don't want you to know it's this Jeffrey, Virginia Jeffrey, who has completely exonerated Trump from anything in her public testimony and in the book she wrote before she committed suicide.
Yep.
She could easily, if Donald Trump was guilty of anything, have spilled all the beans in her, and she had nothing to gain by not doing that. Because the book, she probably would have sold more copies of the book, but she didn't do that. So again, it was a nothing burger, and when I say that I think Mike Johnson is fantastic. I think he's a good human being. He's just the person we needed in that situation.
The headlines you were seeing yesterday too were the Trump Epstein emails is how they were branding it, right? And I saw that headline on CNN, and I thought, oh, man, Trump and Epstein had an exchange of emails. No, it's not. It was Epstein writing Maxwell and a reporter. The 2 emails that were referenced were not even – Trump wasn't even involved. It was just him mentioning Trump, and the reporter was actually telling him how he could blackmail and how he could use it against the president. He was literally giving advice to Epstein. Why is nobody going after that reporter for saying you were talking about using this as a political demise against Trump?
Yes.
I mean, what reporter does that?
Well, they're all doing it, and I don't know why. I mean, I still have questions about the Epstein case? I absolutely do.
No question.
Do I understand why if there is all of this treasure trove of information, it was certainly there during, this has been 14 years ago, folks. It was certainly there during the Biden administration. Can you not imagine as viciously as they went after Donald Trump? If anything in there indicted Donald Trump, they would have come out with this 10 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. At least in the last 4 years.
At least before the 2020 election, or certainly before the 2024 election when he ran for re-election, they would have come out and blasted Donald Trump over this issue. But they didn't. Have you got to ask yourself, why is that? If this information was so easy to get to, why didn't you release it before?
Yep.
And Tim Burchett, I thought, had a great point about that. I think we've got his soundbite. Is it here? Here it is. Cut number 7, please.
This upcoming bill to release the Epstein files?
Yeah, that's why I just put a bill up. I just tried to move it ahead because what you're seeing right now is what exactly is going to happen, going to continue happening. Everybody's going to pull little piecemeal portions of it out, and they're going to try to fit their own little narrative. Both sides are going to do it. You all know it, and you're all going to feed upon it. Let's just get the dadgum bill out. Let's vote it out, and the Democrats oppose me on it. And it's stupid. It's all about politics. It's not about taking care of young ladies who got abused, and we should take care of them. But there's a process in place. The Democrats have had it for 4 years and didn't do a dadgum thing. And you know if Trump was in that thing, Biden arresting Kamala Harris, I mean, he's the Antichrist to them. They would have already had it out. What you got?
I was going to ask about
Yeah, very true. Tim Burchett, thank you. Coming up, Tom Ackerman. Stay tuned.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan,
We need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
All right, time for you to get on the ball here and get that basement fixed once and for all. I know you put it off. You worry about this, you worry about that. You might worry about being taken advantage of by somebody that's going to upsell you on more work than you actually need to get the job done. That's not what's going to happen with Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repairs. I know Matt personally. He's a great guy. He's a father. He's hardworking. He's runs this local family-owned company, and he's the one that'll show up at your house, right? Matt will be there. He's the foundation specialist. He's going to be there, the one looking at the crack. Sometimes they run diagonally, sometimes they're straight up and down. That makes a difference. Matt understands all this, and once he fixes it, once he waterproofs your basement, you walk away with a lifetime warranty. You can't beat that. Call him today. Tell him Mark sent you. 314-227-9636 or HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
For 97.1 FM Talk, I'm Dan Buck. It's 6:30 and we have 43 degrees. Later today, 3,200 Boeing Machinist Union members will vote on the latest offer from the company to try to end that 70-day-long strike. The company recently upped their return-to-work bonus to $6,000, and they, of course, are offering 24% base pay increase over the 5 years of the new contract. If approved today, the machinists could return to work as early as Monday. Festus City Council members voted unanimously Monday to annex several parcels of land totaling 240 acres north of Highway 67. A data center developer, CRG of St. Louis, has expressed interest in the property for a large data facility. Projections show that a data center can deliver $30 to $40 million in new tax income for Festus and over 1,000 jobs. CRG and other data centers have come under scrutiny, though, in St. Louis and in St. Charles. In sports, the Missouri Tigers basketball team won They went on an 18-1 run in the second half. They blew out Minnesota 83-60. It is 6:31. I'm Dan Buck for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Good morning to you. It looks like mainly at this hour, we've just got some moderate volume out there. There was a stall southbound 270 at Doherty Ferry on the right side, but it's not causing a massive delay, but it's a little bit slow in that area. And northbound is what seems to be having the usual volume. So northbound 270, slope pockets just north of Big Bend, and then again, especially at the Clayton Road overpass. Now, eastbound 44 is still in good shape. Northbound 55, most of that volume is in the right lanes at 270 and then again at Bayless in the construction zone. Eastbound 64, there's some slow-moving traffic, Lake St. Louis Boulevard, and again on either side of Wing Haven. But 70 looks pretty good from Wentzville into downtown. We are quiet on the bridges. This report brought to you by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
My best friend Jenny came over for coffee, said it's cold enough in here to play hockey. Well, my furnace broken, it's already late. Call Jerry Kelly because they're open till 8, jerrykelly.com. They're fast and they're good and they got it going on, Jerry Kelly.
All right, so, it's kind of scary. You look at what the stock market's done these days. If you're watching your 401k or your IRA, it's growing, whether you're adding anything to it or not. Hopefully you are. What happens when the market corrects? Now, I'm not saying I know that's going to happen. What I do know is that as somebody who's achieved a certain age, I've seen it happen a number of times over the years. Corrections are normal. Sometimes they're triggered by other events. So what happens if your nest egg drops by 50% in value or 40%? Do you have the time horizon to rebuild it? If not, you need to call my friends at the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll tell you what they do to protect other people's nest eggs. That's Bob Kershaw, Tammy Kershaw, Thomas Helbig, 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. They'll sit down with you for free. They'll tell you what they do, and it's pretty simple to explain, and they'll give you a copy of their book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Just call them or go online. Tell them Marc Cox sent you. Go to retirementkey.com.
If your kitchen's not even functional and you can't stand the look of your bathroom, stop just living around the problem. Let Lakeside Renovation and Design help you love your home again. From spa-like bathrooms to these beautiful, functional, custom kitchens to a finished basement, their in-house team over there at Lakeside, they're going to help bring any vision you have to life. They're going to walk you through every step of the process, the planning, the permits, all the things we don't like to do. They take care of it. You just have to dream. And they have financing options like 0 payments, 0% interest for 24 months. Schedule your free consultation today. It's lakesiderd.com.
Since we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see and hear lots of lawyer ads. It seems that most are bragging on what they got their clients. But be careful. If you heard that someone sold their car for $500,000, you would be impressed. But if you later learned that it was a rare $10 million Ferrari, would you say that person got screwed? And that's before you even know if it's true. Who is fact-checking? And how much went to medical bills and lawyers' fees? If you want to get an idea what your case may be really worth, visit forthepeople.com and go to Settlements and Verdicts. You will see what a law firm like ours is capable of. And fact check for yourself. All that glitters is not gold. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. We won big, a lot. At Morgan & Morgan, we represent consumers. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, with cooler weather moving in, don't put yourself at risk for a power outage. Get a free estimate on a Generac home standby generator from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. This is all about giving yourself peace of mind by calling now for a free estimate. You won't have to worry about waiting on hold with the power company. No more worrying about your home when you're away. Get a free estimate on a generator from Generator Supercenter of St. Louis. Financing is available. 314-499-2020. Generator Supercenter of St. Louis.com.
From Belleville to Bridgeton, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
The great sportsman like Tom Ackerman.
Baseball's really not a hard sport.
It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
It's like powered by coffee this morning.
Sports, sponsored by McDonald's, reminding you to round up your total for Ronald McDonald House Charities on your next order.
All right, Tom Ackerman is in studio with us. Let me read the headline this morning from Sports Illustrated.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it is from a legitimate news source, I think. I think they still put the calendar edition out, or I don't know.
But they are interesting sometimes, some of the things they put out there, but go ahead.
$46 million college football coach emerges as a heavy favorite to be named Penn State head coach. Eli Drinkwitz name pops up in the second paragraph. Missouri's Eli Drinkwitz, a strong favorite to be named Penn State head coach. Had a friend text me this yesterday. He has it on good authority. This is happening. What's the truth, Tom Ackerman?
Well, the truth is, as long as Missouri doesn't announce a contract extension for him, he's going to be mentioned in all of these. I mean, it's Eli Drinkwitz, young guy. He's got a lot of good stuff going for him. Now, the loss to Texas A&M knocks them out of the playoff, so he'll become available at the end of the regular season. It'd be attractive to me if I was Penn State. I'd go after him, too. I'd put him out in as many rumors as possible.
So I have a question. Do they have to extend their contract every year to avoid being snatched up? I mean, why is he suddenly available? I thought they just signed him to an extension.
I think you have to do that, yes.
Really?
I do. Mm-hmm. I do.
Wow.
Yeah, I think you have to continue to strengthen that and basically do something where hands are off, increase the buyout, whatever it is. This is a unique thing where Penn State, Florida, LSU, Auburn, Arkansas are all available. So I would say he's a candidate for all of them. Why wouldn't he be? Wouldn't he be a candidate for why just Penn State?
Right.
I mean, the guy's from Arkansas. He used to coach at Auburn. LSU's looking for a coach. Seems like LSU wants, the greatest coach on earth for theirs, so that's a hard one for him to fill probably. But Florida,
because Cignetti's not going anywhere.
Steve Spurrier's on record as saying that he thinks Eli Drinkwitz would be a great fit for Florida. So they're all talking about Drink. This is nothing new. Penn State, I don't know that he's the slam dunk favorite. That was a couple of weeks ago that I saw somebody put that out. Now, that one right there that you just read, that could very well be. But why wouldn't you go after Brian Dable? I mean, he just got fired by the New York Giants. He would seem like a pretty decent fit, just throwing a name out there for Penn State. Matt Rule got crossed off the list, and you know why? Nebraska signed him to a contract extension.
Yeah, right.
So Rule used to be the AD at Penn State used to be the AD at Temple, and he was with Matt Rule. So that's why they made that connection. Drinkwitz is going to be named for all of these jobs until he's not. And that's just the way that it is. It's just the way that it is in college football. They wanted Curt Cignetti. They wanted my coach at Indiana. What did Indiana do? Boom, contract extension. See ya. $11 million a year for Curt Cignetti and a massive buyout. You can forget about it. Everybody called it off at that point. And why would he leave Indiana anyway? I mean, Indiana's got tons of money. They're the second-ranked team in the country. People are starting to see the team as an attractive place to play college football. Missouri is that too. Missouri is absolutely that. I mean, a $250 million renovation to one end of the stadium, indoor facilities. Drinkwitz just went off the other day on his radio show talking about the one that he does in Columbia.
Speculation.
Talking about about how great Missouri is and how we've all got to gather together and let's go do this together and let's not be negative and let's be positive about Missouri and we're going to go do this and all this rah-rah stuff. So, he's saying all the right things for Mizzou and basically brushing off, not even addressing any of this speculation that's around him. I'm not saying he's not going to go take a bigger job because Penn State is a bigger job. But Penn State is not the power that it once was. I mean, Penn State's lost now 6 in a row in the Big Ten. They are wrapped in a sport now where you can, Indiana, again, as an example, be really good in a very short amount of time based on transfer portal, NIL, and you get the right coach at the right time. Yeah. And that's exactly what IU did. Other teams can now win, not just a handful of blue bloods.
3 words that should never be uttered in college sports. What's your payroll? That should never be a conversation in college sports, and I'm so disappointed that it is, but I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, that was the question I was going to ask. When does this escalating dollar amount, I mean, you're talking the NFL's top coaches, the Andy Reid, $20 million. You got Sean Payton, I think, makes $18 million. But you're getting these college coaches now making nearly as much as the top NFL guys.
Mm-hmm. What's the second most watched sport in America right now to the NFL?
College football.
And the fastest growing one, college football. So until we stop watching it and spending money on it and networks go, throw money at all of these rights to broadcast it, then it's going to continue to grow this way. Hey, they already opened up the door. It's you can't close it now. I mean, they're paying players and they've allowed this to happen. They just got to put some guardrails on it.
They got to cap it.
Coaches make tons of money, and
yeah, they do.
The players are now making tons of money. So it's it's making, by the way, a lot of money for these schools. Let's not ignore that either. What's the greatest commercial for your university? It's not the biology department.
No.
Okay? It's not the latest. I mean, sometimes it's a breakthrough in research.
Some robotics.
Yeah, something like that. That does happen. Medical research, sure. But the biggest commercial for your enrollment increase, it's proven over and over and over. It's football. It's putting it on national TV. Anytime I mention I went to Indiana University, do they say, oh, man? Well, sometimes they do. Great business.
They will now.
Nice business school, nice media. Great world-renowned music school.
Basketball, you probably mentioned.
Basketball, Hoosiers, Bob Knight, yeah.
Yeah, Bob Knight.
No, they say, wow, football, you guys got a football team.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about football. When Gary Pinkel had Mizzou football rolling, enrollment was at its highest ever when that team was number 1 in the country. So it's proven. It brings in money and it brings in recognition to the university, whether people like that or not. So money is going to be paid to
Money
those who
talks.
bring the product to the field.
So,
hey, are you against? I didn't ask you. Are you up against?
I do have a
heartbreak?
6:45. Yeah,
Okay, so
sportscast.
real quick, the big game this weekend for the Chiefs. This is going to be kind of a story of whether this new Chiefs with Rice back in the lineup can go into Denver and pull one off.
I think they're better than Denver. And
Yeah.
I think
8-2
I
Denver.
love the Broncos and what they're doing, but I don't know that they're even the third best team in their division, to be honest. Now, they might win the game. It's very possible, but I think the Chiefs will handle them. I think the Chargers are really good, too. I think that's a fun division right now. There are a lot of people who think the Broncos are frauds. I won't go that far, but they are winning some games. You know, they're not overpowering people. But to their credit, they're doing what they have to do. They're winning games. I'm excited to see Denver excited about the Broncos again. It's been a long time.
Yeah, great rivalry.
Yeah.
Tommy, thank you.
You got it.
Appreciate you, brother.
Let you get
Thank
down
you.
the hall. Appreciate it.
Go Hoosiers.
If you hear that, Drinkowitz story break in, let me know.
Yeah, I can't believe we didn't let him talk a little bit about his Hoosiers, but number two.
Well, he
ranked
did.
team in the
He
country.
brings that up every time. Somehow
course.
he works that into the conversation.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Yes, and I would too. I
Yeah.
would too. So the Blues. Now we didn't talk about the Blues. I was watching my Kentucky Wildcats largely get their rear end handed to them by Loserville the other night, and the Blues game was on the TV next to it, which is the only reason I saw it at that hour. And they put a whipping on it. They scored a lot of goals, and maybe there's a upside here.
Yeah, they didn't play that well.
No,
I think on
Ethan's
Monday night.
shaking his
Well,
head.
they scored 3 early, and they played 2 good periods. They're up 3-0 going to the third, and then just hung on by the claws to hang on to that 3-2 win. But it was a debacle of a third period. So they just can't put a whole game together. It doesn't seem like. And let's hope they get some consistency. They got a lot of young guys. You got to be patient. Some of these young stars they've got in that lineup are still learning the speed of the NFL, the physicality of the NHL. I said NFL, NHL. So I think, this, don't panic. Blues have not been mathematically eliminated yet. So they're 4-6-3. So a win, 2 wins at home this weekend, which are doable. You got the Flyers and the Golden Knights coming to town Friday and Saturday night. They win those 2 and get back to 500 before they go out on a road trip. I think we'll feel a lot better about our Blues.
That would be good.
Yeah.
We'll look forward to that. Coming up, we're going to get to In Other News next hour. It's packed. Ryan Schmelz. We're going to talk to former Congressman, former Senator and Congressman Jim Talent. And we'll do our Cardinal ticket giveaway with a weekend pack that includes 2 tickets to 10 different Cardinal games on weekend games over the course of the next season. So we'll do that in the 7 o'clock hour as well.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, we've kind of stalled northbound 270 north of Manchester. It's been on the right side, and we've got a delay behind that. There was some volume on northbound 55, still is, from Bayless headed into the work zone. We've got eastbound 64, slow pockets of moderate volume out west, headed for 94, and then it opens up. 70, kind of the same way, slow pockets of moderate volume Wentzville through K, and then things open up. We also had some moderate volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge. And on the Illinois side, eastbound 64, that ongoing road work at Greenmount Road, causing delays. This report brought to you by the Diamond Shop. The Diamond Shop, making St. Louis sparkle for over 100 years. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, what do you think? Do you ever even think about your garage door? I'll bet most people don't. You take it for granted. You push the button, it goes up. You push the button, it goes down. And then you go to work or play or wherever you're going. And in the meantime, your garage door's there. It's securing your home for you. It's protecting it from the elements. You need to show it some love. Let my friends from Overhead Door Company come out. They can provide great maintenance on your garage door to make sure it works for a long, long time. If it does break, they do same-day service, which is one thing that's kind of been their trademark. They've been around for 99 years. Next year, they celebrate 100 years. It's amazing. So if you're looking for a new garage door, they have a wonderful selection of those that will absolutely change the curb appeal of your home. It just does. You can even go on their website and visualize what one of these new garage doors might look like on your home. You can get the ones that are heavily insulated and give you a little, extra protection during the cold months. Just call them. The selection is amazing. Tell them Marc Cox sent you. It's 314-781-5200. That's 314-781-5200 or overheaddoorstlouis.com.
Police versus firefighters in the ring for charity. It's the 38th annual Guns N' Hoses event the day before Thanksgiving. Catch all the action as we broadcast Guns N' Hoses live on 97.1 FM Talk.
Ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
Thanksgiving is all about family, food, and gratitude, not last-minute grocery runs. That's why there's Ruler Foods Delivery. Get your favorite Super Saver deals from fresh produce to Thanksgiving essentials, delivered to your door in as little as 30 minutes. Spend more time around the table and less time in the store. Visit rulerfoods.com. Click delivery and start your order today. Shop smart, spend less, save more with Ruler Foods Delivery. Online at rulerfoods.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you can find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay. Things people love.
You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
What's happening?
Go, you know the thing.
What the hell is going on?
In other news.
Well, Dan, we talked earlier about the fact that it's World Kindness Week, apparently. Today is World Kindness Day. Supposed to be kind.
Make it a point.
Make it a point. Now, that said, what my parents did to me back in the 70s by taking me to see Jaws was not kind. Because now whenever I get in the ocean, that's generally all I worry about, is being able to see what's below me to make sure Jaws isn't coming up to get me. So whenever I see these kinds of stories, I have a flashback. The largest male great white shark ever recorded was pinged off the New Jersey coast. So I don't know why in the world the dude is going to New Jersey, but he is swimming up the coast. It is an adult male white shark who was tagged in January by the near the Florida-Georgia coastline at a whopping 1,600 pounds, 13 feet long, and estimated to be about 32 years old.
Wow. That's massive.
Man alive. I just can't. That would be my worst nightmare. Be in a boat in the ocean that sinks and have to be floating in the ocean in a life jacket not knowing what's under me. I just as soon drown myself, I think. Awful.
Okay. I've got a story that I don't even want to tell. If you're listening right now and you have a college student, don't let them know this story because it will only encourage bad behavior.
Okay.
All right. The research from the University of Oslo indicates that heavy alcohol consumption during late adolescence correlates to improved economic outcomes in adulthood. Doesn't make sense, does it?
It doesn't.
No. So it says...
I thought it killed brain cells.
That's what I thought. But anyway, according to this University of Oslo, a guy spent 18 years tracking 3,000 students, and the study found that those who began regular binge drinking in their late teens and early 20s achieved higher social economic status than the sober peers.
Because they had better connections because all their drunk friends gave them jobs?
He says it's actually attributed to ability to socialize.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh.
Ability to socialize better was the number one thing, and that it helped people come out of their shells and got them to be more aggressive in the workplace.
Was there a sub-chapter on the number of them that went into rehab?
Yeah, it's
somewhere along the way.
I'm seeing there really were no drawbacks in the study. It did acknowledge certain limitations, though. It warned that drinking alone shows no correlation with success. It's more the party goers, the people who are social drinkers.
Well, now, George Thorogood was pretty successful, and he drank alone.
Really?
All by himself.
Yeah, that's the only big drawback they have of binge drinking. They say that those who drink alone have a much higher propensity to alcoholism and alcohol-related problems.
All right.
That's because they're doing it for a reason.
Yeah, I guess
if you're
so.
drinking alone, you're probably just...
Yeah, you might have a problem. That's
Yeah.
true. All right, so let's get back to that shark story for just a second.
Okay.
I would rather...
He was drinking.
Have a shark... I would rather have a shark chew my leg off than watch Dancing with the Stars. I really could care less about that show. I have no idea why people are interested in it. None whatsoever.
The stars they pick aren't really stars half the time either.
I mean, D-list maybe.
The headline this morning is that Dancing with the Stars champion Bobby Bones, who's apparently a radio DJ somewhere,
Like I said, Bobby Bones.
Bobby Bones, huge.
reveals that he
Nashville.
returned the Mirror Ball Trophy over a hurtful insult by host Tom Bergeron, who very simply stated, it's like when Andy Richter danced. He said, he's charming, he's got a big heart. Do I think he's going to win? No way. Do I think he's bringing quality to the show? Absolutely. But Bobby Bones was the first time it was like, ouch. No disrespect to Bobby. He would probably say the same thing. Well, not only did he not say the same thing, he sent the trophy back to ABC. He refused to keep the trophy because his feelings got hurt.
Oh.
Don't you feel bad for
Poor
him?
Bobby.
No, like who cares?
He'll cry in his millions.
Put this
I'm
in
sure.
the who cares category. Thank you.
I'll be darned. I don't have another one.
So
You got one?
here's another one.
You got a quick one.
I'm going to see Rush.
Yep.
And I'm going to go see AC/DC. Those are on my list. I'm seeing Mammoth W. Van Halen. Now, he's younger, so he doesn't qualify. But there's a big story this morning that personal demons and egos bigger than 80s hairdos are keeping Bon Jovi fans from getting the tour that they want. They can't get... The band cannot make up long enough to go on tour, so you may not be hearing from Bon Jovi anytime soon.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, darn it.
No, I
Pretty
wouldn't
sure
go-
that documentary made that clear.
Wouldn't go to that one anyway, to be honest with you. All right, coming up, Ryan Schmelz, and we'll do our Cardinal ticket giveaway in the next hour.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they were very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
No pain, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Have you set your appointment up yet to have your furnace checked to make sure you are good and ready to go for this winter? It's really, really a great idea to have it done for your own peace of mind and for your safety also. Definitely check your furnace before you use it. You can go to my website. It's bartinman.com, and we'll have pictures up of what we've seen and what we've seen and found that the homeowners had no clue that this danger existed. Most have no idea what I'm talking about now, but if you went to the website, if you're not going to have me come out or another company come out and check, then you'll know what to look for on your furnace and hot water heater also. So my number, again, it's Bart Inman. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois. The easiest number, 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com, Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
This is a Fox News alert. After a record 43 days, the government shutdown is over. I'm Dave Anthony.
It's an honor now to sign this incredible bill and get our country working again. Thank you.
President Trump in the Oval Office putting a signature on the funding right after the House approved it.
6 Democratic House members joining most of the Republican caucus to vote in favor of passing a Senate package which reopens the government and funds some departments like USDA and military construction for several more months.
It funds SNAP food assistance in full again through next September, and Fox's Mark Meredith also reports from the Capitol.
Lawmakers are already leaving town again. They're not expected to do any work for the rest of this week, but they'll be back next week. And there's another caveat to all this. There is the possibility of another government shutdown on the horizon at the end of January.
Democrats did not get what they demanded, an extension of expiring Obamacare tax credits, but House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says
their philosophy, my way or the highway, our response, get lost. We're going to continue to fight hard on behalf of the American people.
Without an extension, millions of Americans will pay more for health coverage next year. Republicans want health care policy changes to bring costs down. Travelers are still wary, but Fox Business Network's Grady Trimble reports from Reagan National near D.C.
We're not quite out of the woods just yet, but things are looking up at this airport and airports across the country now that the government is back open and air traffic controllers are expected to get paid within 48 hours. The FAA has decided not to increase those mandated flight cuts today, so it's going to stay at 6%.
There were nearly 1,000 flights canceled. A civil rights activist hospitalized in Chicago, Reverend Jesse Jackson.
The Rainbow Push Coalition with a statement Wednesday night saying Jackson was admitted under observation for progressive supranuclear palsy. It's a rare progressive neurodegenerative disease that affects movement, balance, and eye control. The statement says his family is asking for prayers.
That's Fox's Chris DeMeo. America's listening to Fox News.
This month, Pure Talk is supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat vets struggling with PTSD. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. Sure, I like the unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and you will too. But you will love being in business with a company that shares your values. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things. Like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
For 97.1 FM Talk, I'm Dan Buck. It is 7:03 and we have 44 degrees. A former police chief and city administrator of Velda City in North St. Louis County pled guilty in federal court Wednesday morning with 3 felony counts of fraud and theft. According to officials, 51-year-old Daniel Pauley stole more than $158,000 in city funds. He was appointed as city administrator in 2021. He served as the police chief for over a decade until that department was dissolved in 2024. Pauley could face up to 40 years when he's sentenced in February. Israeli manufacturer ICL Group on Wednesday announced the $570 million battery component factory that was planned to be built along the city's industrial North Riverfront is officially dead. The decision comes after the Trump Department of Energy pulled a $200 million grant for the project. DOE said the project value did not currently match the consumer demand. Later today, 3,200 Boeing machinists will vote on the latest offer from the company to end that 70-day-long strike. The company recently upped their offer to return work bonus will now go to $6,000. It includes a 24% base pay increase over the 5 years of the contract. If it's approved today, the machinists could return to work as early as Monday. In sports, the Missouri Tigers basketball team went on an 18-1 run in the second half. They blew open the game against Minnesota, 83-60 the final. Tigers now 4-0. Tonight, the 8-2 Patriots will face the 2-7 Jets on Thursday Night Football, and the Blues are home this weekend. They'll open up a 2-game homestand Friday against the Flyers. Saturday night, they'll host the Vegas Golden Knights. That's your headlines. I'm Dan Buck for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, we had an accident northbound 55 at Butler Hill causing delays. Well, they got that cleared, and things are looking good through there now. There is some volume northbound 55 by Bayless in the construction zone. Northbound 270, slow pockets of mainly moderate volume between 21 and Manchester, and again at 64. Now, eastbound 64, call it slow pockets from Prospect, really through 94, and then it opens up. And we've got southbound 94 jammed at Highway D. Now, eastbound 70, it's a slow go as you approach and pass Lake St. Louis Boulevard, but then things open up and look okay. And some southbound 61 traffic this morning, although it's mainly moderate, headed for 64. On the Illinois side, 64 westbound, there was an accident past 111, kind of near 37th Street, and that has caused a delay. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. This report is brought to you by Barron Mirror Glass and Door. Simply the finest when it comes to mirror glass and shower doors. You can't find better quality, prices, or service. They have the basics all the way up to the elite. Barron Mirror Glass and Door can't be beat. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Partly sunny skies with us on this Thursday, and though it's chilly out the door this morning, it's another nice afternoon for the middle of November. 65 for the high. Temperature-wise, much like yesterday. Tonight, partly cloudy. It's warmer overnight, only 52 for the low. The evening should be pretty nice. Again, for this time of year. Friday, mostly sunny and wonderful. 75 for the high Friday. 78 on Saturday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
We're at 44 degrees at 7:07. Don't forget, you can take the Marc Cox Morning Show and all the great programs here on 97.1 FM Talk with you anytime, anywhere you go, if you download that free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
I want to also thank the 8 Senate Democrats who finally did the right thing in voting to end this craziness, this madness. But unfortunately, the vast majority of congressional Democrats were happy for millions of Americans to suffer. They really did suffer, too. And the Democrats admitted, they said, well, no, we finally have a point. Even though people have to suffer, we finally have a point, and that didn't work out too well for them. But they really went out and they could appease the fringe benefits of their far-left base.
Yeah, the president last night, as he was signing the bill to reopen the government, I guess the CR that reopens the government, and he took full advantage of that opportunity to blame the Democrats for it. We've got our friend Ryan Schmelz live in D.C., who's probably as happy as anyone that this thing is finally over. Ryan, good morning.
Yeah, well, the House came back yesterday, and they came back in the most House way possible. It was a never-ending news day.
Yeah, no kidding. Every time somebody popped out of a committee room, there were TV cameras waiting for him. I listened to Hakeem Jeffries and a lot of other people, including Mike Johnson, try to explain what happened. So this morning, what do we know about how quickly things get back to normal in terms of flights and all that stuff, Ryan?
I think that's going to be hard to figure out. That'll be up to the Trump administration. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work because we've never seen a shutdown this long. So, President Trump put some effort in before the shutdown officially ended, kind of trying to encourage air traffic controllers and TSA agents to get back to work. But ultimately, that's still to be determined. I mean, I can tell you right now that the parking situation outside of our office this morning was terrible. So it does look like at least something is back to normal, where people are at least back in the office.
Yeah. So the traffic is back to bad in Washington D.C. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, that's what I am saying. Yes.
Well, I have a personal question on this one. As a developer in my day job, I build things, and we have an SBA loan that's been in limbo for 43 days because nobody is able to sign off on the final closing documents. Is the offices at every department going to be different of when they reopen, when they return to work? Is there any plan or anything been announced on, whether it's the SBA, whether it's Department of Labor or HUD, or when do these services and these employees return to work?
I believe they're supposed to be returning to work as soon as possible, and that they should, actually, hold on, I do have the information.
Oh, good.
President Trump said yesterday they're ordering people to, and I got to pull up I had this somewhere. So it is November 13th. So okay. White House instructs federal workers to return to work November 13th. So I believe that is
today. That's today.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Good. I was surprised, and I don't have 100% knowledge that this is why, but I have an 18-year-old who's going to be going to college next year. Several of the colleges required her to go in and fill out the FAFSA situation, and yet the colleges reported that they had never received that information. So we started doing it just as the government was shutting down, and I kind of have to wonder if that didn't have something to do with the delay. I don't know for sure, but I would imagine things like that have to be processed somewhere in D.C. were all affected by this.
FAFSA has been a mess going back to the Biden administration.
Yeah.
It was a very underreported problem that was going on with these student loan programs. So I wouldn't be shocked if the government shutdown didn't help. But this is also a program that has been under a lot of scrutiny for years now, honestly.
So Ryan, do all of these employees get paid for the 43 days that they've been off?
Yes.
They all get back pay for their. Wow. So it really wasn't shut down from a financial economic standpoint. They just got a 43-day vacation, basically.
Well, and that's the thing is that, one of the arguments that Republicans make, because, there's always the question, well, it's like if the government shut down, you wouldn't miss it. We don't really need this much of the government anyway. It's not going to impact people. Well, it's like, well, also at the same time, the law states that these federal workers get back pay after they return to work. And also it costs money to close down the government and reopen it. And, money that we have to pay for. And, there are Republicans out there who will say, well, one of the most anti-DOGE things you could do is actually shut down the government because you're spending money on things that you shouldn't have to spend money on, like reopening and closing down.
Yeah. Ryan, I don't know how much you've covered the whole Epstein thing, But I heard a couple of different. I heard a Robert Garcia, I think, yesterday talking about this is a travesty. Trump is trying to cover up for Epstein. And then I heard Tim Burchett say, as a Republican, I filed a bill yesterday that would release all the documents, and many of the Democrats voted against it. Is there a truth there in the middle somewhere? Had there been bills submitted to release all the documents? I understand that new congressman that got voted in signed the paperwork that would release all this stuff. What's the holdup?
Right. So the Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva became the final signature needed on the discharge petition that would force the Massey Ro Khanna bill to the floor. And Speaker Johnson said yesterday he wants to have the vote next week. He wants to get this thing over with.
Okay.
Tim Burchett, on the other hand, tried to bring his own legislation up, and he was pretty much shot down and objected to by Democrats. So, yeah, there's a little bit of a back and forth going on between both sides about this, and Burchett accused Democrats of playing politics here. But, ultimately that Epstein legislation looks like it's going to get voted on next week. The votes are probably there, but, what happens after that, we don't know.
Yeah, and my real question is, what's left to release? I mean, I understand they've released a bunch of stuff. The courts declined to release grand jury stuff. What's still there that everybody's so excited about?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's what we're waiting to find out. And the argument, though, also is that what the Department of Justice has released so far, a lot of the information is so redacted to the point that, some of it's not legible and you can't even tell, nothing's really easy to explain there. So they think that this would loosen some of those redactions to the point that they'd actually be able to, be a little more transparent. But that's kind of the back and forth that both sides are having right now.
The 20,000 documents released yesterday, are these new to the public? I mean, or just compiling more of the same and releasing it in a large format?
My understanding, the one that was released, there was a piece from the documents yesterday that has an email from President, I believe, involving President Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, which could indicate that President Trump was at least aware of some of his, alleged behaviors or some of his behaviors. And, I think Democrats think that might be a smoking gun or something that could lead to something there. So that was probably one of the big, revelations from yesterday. But of course, there are Republicans who are coming out and saying, look, that may have been taken out of context. We don't know if this was political and whatnot. So, that was probably the big story from yesterday in terms of what was released.
Yeah. Very good. Ryan, we appreciate your time, my friend. Thank you.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Of course. Thank you, Mark.
Yep. Talk to you soon. Ryan Schmelz there in Washington, D.C. On a related note, this will be voted on next week, and the Clintons have announced they are taking a permanent vacation to a country that does a non-extradition treaty with the United States. Just so Bill can get the hell out of the... I'm lying here, but I'm just saying. The Clintons are getting the hell out of Dodge, right? Everybody whose name might be in that document will suddenly be in a foreign country next week where they can't get to them for comment or whatever if it's in there.
I know.
I think it's a bunch of smoke right now. I don't really know what's in there.
Yeah. Is there a fire is the question, right? Is there something in there? I think there could be literally dozens, if not hundreds, of high-profile, including international leaders who are involved here,
who were on that island.
I do. I mean, we all know there was a connection between Epstein and the Prince, of England, Andrew, and I think that could run much deeper than just that.
But I agree with you. But what we said earlier is also true. If anything in there was detrimental to Donald Trump, we would have heard about it during the Biden years.
It would have been.
They would have released it
news.
Headline during the Biden years, and they didn't do it. So you have to ask yourself, either there are a bunch of high-profile Democrats on that list and they don't want the list out, or they're just trying to make political gains here, trying to somehow allege wrongdoing by Donald Trump.
Or specifically Democratic donors.
All right.
Big time. All
right,
donors.
let's take a break so we have time for our Senator Jim Talent. We'll get him in here next and talk about the fallout from this government shutdown. We'll be right back.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Watch out for a stall southbound 170 approaching Del Mar. They've got the left lane blocked, and there's a delay through there. Eastbound 70, moderate volume, but it does stretch from Highway A to almost looks like K, and then things open up into downtown. Southbound 61, moderate to heavy volume, headed for 64 this morning. Moderate volume in pockets eastbound 64. As you approach the Boone Bridge, then it opens up. Northbound 270, slow pockets there between 55 and 64, and northbound 55 slowing at Bayless. We've got on the Illinois side that jam eastbound 64 headed for Greenmount Road, but things look better westbound 111 to what was an accident near 37th Street. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Sounds like your sleigh's about to get prepped for the season. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we don't just change your oil, we also check your tire pressure, battery, wipers, and lights. Just stay cozy in your car and let our trained pros handle the rest. No appointment needed.
All right, I love to do business with companies who support causes that I support. And if you feel the same way and you have heating and air conditioning problems, call Air Comfort Service. Here's why. They are big supporters of the Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. I had the honor of going on one of those missions, I think it was a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. Fantastic. Celebrating veterans with the day to honor them at the nation's memorials up in Washington, D.C. And they go out on a limb at Air Comfort Service, Corey and the team over there, to make sure they're supporting our veterans at all times. I appreciate that, and I think you will too. Now, we're getting into the colder months, a little warmer today, I think, but it'll be back very soon. You need to get your heating system checked before that happens. It's time to schedule that heating system check with my friends at Air Comfort Service. Just call them up. Say, listen, I heard Marc Cox talking about this. I know he's on the preferred partner plan, which is great. I get a priority service, discounts on new equipment, all that great stuff. All you have to do is call them. I'm not special. You can get the same deal. 314-513-0091, 314-513-0091, or aircomfortservice.com.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago politician Dick Durbin. Now, Durbin has a new scheme. He's doing the dirty work to benefit corporate megastores. Durbin's bill could cut corners on your credit card security, putting your personal data at risk. Big chain retailers and warehouse stores want to inflate their profits, and liberal Dick Durbin would help them do it. Tell senators, say no to the megastores and Dick Durbin. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Now that we're getting older, we've been putting more thought into maintaining our health.
We knew the water we drink every day could be filled with contaminants, so
we called Leaf Home Water Solutions.
They came to our home and did a free water test and gave us the analysis right away.
We were shocked at what we saw.
They found heavy metals like iron and copper.
Our own tap water was putting our health at risk, but Leaf Home Water Solutions made it easy to get safer water from every tap and hose. A whole home solution.
They have more than 250 product combinations and designed a system that fits our needs and budget. The installation took less than a day.
With Leaf Home Water Solutions, our water is safer and healthier. When we drink, when we cook, when we shower, even when we garden.
We feel better about our health.
Thanks to Leaf Home Water Solutions.
Schedule your free home water test today at leafhome.com/free and save 15% on all home water treatment systems. That's leafhome.com/free for your free home water test and 15% off. leafhome.com/free.
If you're looking for the best eye care in St. Louis, look no further than the doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andrew Royer. Make your appointment today at yourEyeDoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules. From the Gateway City to the front lines of freedom, this is the Marc Cox Morning Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Just have a word for the things that...
Let me start that over there because the audio is not up here. Listen here.
Mr. Speaker, psychologists have a word for the things the Democrats accuse us of: projection. Mr. Speaker, I sure hope you did not watch all 7 hours of the Democrat group therapy session last night in the Rules Committee. But if you did, you saw what a clown show it was. It was a crisp 40 degrees outside when we adjourned at around 1:30 a.m. this morning, but with the amount of hot air being spewed by Democrats in the committee room for 7 straight hours, you would have thought we were in the dead of summer.
Virginia Fox. I've never run a soundbite, I don't think, from Virginia Fox. I think she's maybe a Texas Republican. Anyway, you love her Southern accent, and she was chewing them a new one yesterday about what they demanded, extra additions they were trying to put on. Everything got voted down, but they were trying to attach all kinds of garbage. In fact, Mike Johnson described some of that stuff yesterday, and it's unbelievable what they wanted to add back into a continuing resolution. Listen to this.
And they would send $500 million to liberal news outlets by refunding the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. It would also restore up to $5 billion of American taxpayer funds for wasteful spending for international projects. Here's a couple of examples. This is in their legislation, their counterproposal on the CR to keep the lights open. This is what they want to do. They want to spend $24.6 million of your hard-earned dollars as a taxpayer for climate resilience in Honduras. They want to spend $13.4 million for civic engagement in Zimbabwe. They want to send $3.9 million for LGBTQI plus democracy grants in the Western Balkans. They want to spend $2.9 million of your dollars for desert locust risk reduction in the Horn of Africa. And $2 million for, quote, organizing for feminist democratic principles in Africa. We are not doing that.
Oh, my God.
That's what they spent the night. 7 hours in a committee. Some of them didn't get, like she was saying, didn't get out till 2 this morning, trying to add all of these amendments back into the CR. And, of course, they all got voted down.
And what that basically was the hard work of DOJ
Yes,
for about
that
6 months.
that. Yes.
That identified these crazy projects and no track record either. Like, that's what DOJ says. We're saying we're spending the money on this, but we have no idea whether the work got done. There was no accountability. And they're like, if you can't report where that money went, how it was used, then you're not getting more of it. And the fact those Democrats try to put that USAID money back in, that's where those programs would have been administered out of, that it's insane. And if you are a cost-conscious fiscal conservative, you got to applaud the Republican House for just saying, nope, not having any of it. We are going to vote on this clean resolution, and we're not muddying it.
Yeah.
However, they did remove the Senate Republicans' request to have the dollars put in there for the senators who had been spied on and had the Justice Department looking at their phone records. The Senate Republicans tried to get that added in so that those 8 or 9 senators could sue the government for up to $500,000. And Johnson just said, hey, we'll vote on that as a separate bill at a later date. We are not putting it into this resolution. So they kept it clean and got it to the president within an hour of the approval last night, and the president signed it last night.
Johnson's he's so good at what he does. I marvel at it sometimes at how cool and collected he is in these situations. So as soon as they got back in session, he had to swear in Adelita Grijalva, I guess is her name. She's from Arizona. She got elected in a special election to, I think, replace her father, who died of a heart attack. She's a hard left, dim, Hispanic activist. And she wanted to be sworn in while Congress was adjourned during the shutdown because she was going to be the 218th vote on the Epstein case, and she claimed that's why Johnson wasn't letting her get sworn in and blah-de-blah-de-blah. Listen to the nastiness. As soon as she got sworn in, she went negative on Johnson. Go to cut 12, please.
It has been 50 days since the people of Arizona's 7th Congressional District elected me to represent them. 50 days that over 800,000 Arizonans have been left without access to the basic services that every constituent deserves. This is an abuse of power. One individual should not be able to unilaterally obstruct the swearing in of a duly elected member of Congress.
Yeah, now she's mad at Johnson. Go ahead and listen to cut 10 at how nice Johnson was to her after he swore her in.
Well, good evening, everybody. We feel very relieved tonight. The Democrat shutdown is finally over, thanks to House and Senate Republicans who stood together to get the job done. Absolutely no question in anybody's mind now that the Democrats were responsible for this.
I think you played the wrong. I think that was cut 10. I think I wanted the other cut. I'll play that. We're going to run out of time here. I'll play that later. At how complimentary he was to this congresswoman. And 10 minutes later, she walked out onto the floor and blasted him. Yep. That's just how nasty these lefties are.
Welcome to D.C.
In Washington, no doubt. So we couldn't get a hold of Jim Talent. Sorry about that. We will do our Cardinal ticket giveaway and Dan's segment
Hi,
coming
I'm
up.
Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 39 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
All right, I've talked to you a little bit about this before, but every time my friend Matt Hayes goes out to inspect a home where the concrete is not quite level, so he'll often send me video of it as he walks up on it because he'll say, hey, here's one of your listeners who called me. I appreciate that. This is what I found when I got out here. It was a situation where the around their pool, they had poured concrete, and one end of it had started to sink. So you had a big gap there between the edge of the pool and the concrete. And, what do you do there? Do you bust it up and pour new concrete, which is going to look bad? No, you call Home Shield Foundation Repairs. They can polyjack that. They put polyurethane under it, get it all leveled up. They can do that anywhere on your property where you have a foundation, basement, garage floors, driveways, you mention it, and then you get a 5-year warranty on the work. It's cost effective. 314-227-9636 or homeshieldfoundationrepairs.com.
For 97.1 FM Talk, I'm Dan Buck. It is 7:30 and we have 44 degrees. Later today, 3,200 Boeing machinist members will vote on the latest offer from the company to end the 70-day-long strike. If approved today, the machinists could return to work as early as Monday. Festus City Council members voted unanimously Monday to annex several parcels of land totaling 240 acres. A data center developer, CRG of St. Louis, has expressed interest in the property for a large data facility. But despite 1,000 jobs and tens of millions in new tax revenue, other data center companies have faced community pushback in St. Charles and in the city due to huge power demands. In sports, the Missouri Tigers basketball team went on an 18-1 run. They beat Minnesota 83-60, and the Tigers are now 4-0. It is 7:31 and 44 degrees. I'm Dan Buck for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Eastbound 70 this morning, some volume out west. Mainly in pockets from Highway A through the O'Fallon area before opening up. And southbound 61, a little bit slow between Highway P and 64. 64 eastbound slowing, mainly at Prospect in the construction zone. But westbound, there was a delay as well at Highway K to a point west of there. Eastbound slowing again at Clarkson, Timberlake Manor. Westbound slowing at Hampton. Southbound 270, moderate volume from about Page down through Ladue Road. And northbound has slow pockets 55 on up through that area as well. Now, northbound 55, we've got a report of an accident north of Carondelet Boulevard. Well, of course, that's in a construction zone. So we've got a jam that goes behind it to just north of Rivas. On the Illinois side, accident reported again westbound 64 past 111, and there's some volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge. This report is brought to you by the fabulous people at the Diamond Shop. The Diamond Shop, making St. Louis sparkle for over 100 years. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. If you're getting closer to retirement and wondering if you're truly prepared, this is not a surprise, right? This is a really big deal, and you need professional help to know that you can make it through retirement. This is why I ask you to keep in mind financial and tax architects. They've helped people all over St. Louis do this. And what they specialize in is creating tax-efficient retirement strategies, but by showing you how and when to claim Social Security and building an income plan designed to last as long as you do, because that's the entire point. They educate you, and they have a class called Retirement Planning 101. Ooh, is it eye-opening? And it's 2.5 hours long. It's free, but you have to register. So go to their website, F as in Frank, FTA-RIA.com, and reserve your seat today. It does fill up fairly quickly. So FTA-RIA.com and start on your journey to understanding retirement.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This holiday, give the gift that lasts all season long. Cardinals ticket packs are on sale now, starting at 5, 6, and 10 games. All packs include 2026's top games and favorite giveaways. Backed by popular demand, choose from the opening day pack or the bobblehead pack. Check out the Cubs pack, weekend pack, or apparel pack. There's a pack for everyone. Find your perfect gift right now at cardinals.com/tickets.
And that's grounded up the middle. Diving play. Mason Wynn to his feet. He throws. He got him.
Busch Stadium isn't just a ballpark. It's where St. Louis comes alive. It's where every pitch matters and every cheer feels like home. Season tickets put you right at the heart of it all. And now there's a new way to be all in. Introducing 20-game season ticket plans. Get all the season ticket benefits with more flexibility than ever. Don't miss your chance to own your piece of 2026. Learn more at cardinals.com/tickets.
Built on backbone, not buzzwords. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
You know what that means. We have our Cardinal ticket giveaway we're doing this week. Every day this week, like, the number of games has gone up. So the one today is for a 10-game package. It's a weekend pack is what they call it. You spend your weekends at Busch Stadium. These are Friday through Sunday games featuring the Red Sox, the Royals, the Cubs, and more. A total of 10 games with 2 tickets to each game. Now, I don't know about you, but if you win this, I'm thinking it'd be a great stocking stuffer for somebody, too.
Oh, my gosh, for that baseball fan in your family to say, oh, by the way, I got you 10 tickets to or 10 games with 2 tickets each, so 20 tickets, and they're all weekend games against great teams.
Well, we will, I tell you what, we'll take caller number 12. How about that?
12.
To 314-241-9797. Caller 12 to 314-241-9797. 9-7. We'll put James to work out there, and the winner will get the 10-game weekend pack. Congratulations.
Is that 12 kind of prophetic? Are you saying we're going to win our 12th world championship next year?
You never know.
Because we got 11, right?
Could happen.
And please have a valid email address.
Yeah, our first winner this week did not have an email address.
And that's how you have to claim.
You claim the ticket. They transfer the tickets into your MLB app, right?
Right.
So that's how that works. You give them an email address that's connected to your MLB app. The first winner this week didn't have an email.
I think they're working it out with her.
Well, I'm sure they are, but you have to have an email for this to work.
All the legalese has to come to you.
Strange to have to say that because I've still got like an AOL extension email somewhere, I think. And I've had email for so long, I can't imagine existing without
somebody
it.
Could probably use their sons or daughters or something too, maybe to help be that conduit, if you will. But, yeah, I just thought, who in this day and age doesn't have an email?
Or you could win them and then donate them back to me because I do have an email address.
Well, that is true.
I'm just thinking out loud here.
You could be the second. You could be their partner at the game. That would go for. We could auction that off. Having Mark be your guest at 10 games.
See what I'm saying?
I mean, that's like a little mini. That's a great package. I just can't believe this week the Cardinals have just been awesome.
They have.
They know we have great loyal listeners, loyal Cardinal fans, and they said, let's give out some great prizes this week, and we're celebrating it. And like you said, could be a great Christmas gift for somebody.
And to one tomorrow's for 10 games as well. It's the opening day pack. Is the one we'll be giving away tomorrow.
Which will be amazing.
Including the Dodgers, a Dodgers game, opening day, plus 9 other games. That's our Friday giveaway. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because no matter how good or bad the Cardinals are, opening day is like a holiday.
Oh, yeah.
Here.
Yeah, you bet.
And it should be a holiday.
Always a celebration and always a sellout. So
you have high hopes.
Yep, you'll have. If you win tomorrow, you're going to have tickets to opening day as well. That's crazy.
Awesome. That is awesome. Let me give a shout out for a minute just to all the people that have been so kind to me since this accident that I was involved in. I mean, seriously, people that my neighbor Kevin, shout out to him.
Thanks for
came over and mowed my grass.
What a good neighbor!
Brought me some candy. Brought me some of my favorite candy because he knew I loved that. So thank you, Kevin, for doing that. Yesterday, my buddy came over and brought me a bottle of Weller 12. My own bottle, not the one I'm giving away in the responder rescue raffle, but my own bottle of and it was like a handle. And I'm like, dude, that's an expensive bottle of bourbon right there. I want you to feel better, and you'll enjoy it more than I will. So
I'm gonna have to get you some barbecue or something. Come by and help you drink that.
Well, I think maybe there you go. I knew you'd have an ulterior motive there, but that's okay, Buck. You come on over.
Now I'm thinking, well, now it might be worth the trip over to Mark's house.
Come on over every day. Every day gets a little easier. But yeah, people have been very kind, and I do appreciate that.
And we're all grateful that it could have been so much worse, and just grateful that you're going to get through this. And I know it's painful and it's a slow journey. Ribs aren't something like a sprained ankle that you're okay in a couple weeks. This is going to be months before you get to 100%.
I imagine.
Yeah, but it could have a head trauma or a neck trauma could have been a whole different story.
Quick congratulations to John in East Alton.
Oh,
John.
Congratulations, John.
Woo, East Side.
Won the 10-pack. Yeah, and he's got an email address, clearly. So that's that works. We appreciate that. That's a good thing. Let me take this opportunity here to explain to you what's going on with that raffle that I mentioned a minute ago. I'm going to take a picture of some of the bottles that are going to be in the bourbon basket. If you go to therangestl.com, you'll see the 9mm CZ pistol that they've included for the Responder Rescue raffle. You could win that, or you could win a night down at Lit Cigar Lounge, which is fantastic. You, 10 of your friends, and bottle service and cigars, and it's just a nice, relaxing night out. But it's about $1,000 because you get their private room and all that stuff. So you get to enjoy that, and I appreciate all these folks who've donated. Honestly, my friends at Lore. Wine and Spirits are donating a bunch of bourbon and even some wine from I think. Gunlock Bunshoe Wines they're going to throw in there. My friends at Stolock Whiskey out at Stone Ledge Distillery, they're making a donation for a tasting out there for up to 10 people that's worth about $300. That'll be in the basket. My friends at Macadoodles who are donating a bottle of Blanton's to go along with it. And then I've got my friend Carl Lund sent me over a bottle of Weller 12 and a Blanton's to go in the basket. So I secured the Pappy earlier this year. There's a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle in there that everybody wants if you're a bourbon connoisseur at all. And if you're not a bourbon connoisseur, the bottle's probably worth $1,000, I would guess, on the secondary market. I don't want you to win it and sell it, but I'm just saying, if you've always wanted a bottle to drink, this is your opportunity.
What does that break down like per sip, per serving?
I think there are 25 or 26 shots pours in a bottle like that if you do it 1 ounce, I think. So you can do the math there.
You can do the math.
It's generally out of my price range. I've never purchased a bottle of Pappy. Because that's like divorce territory. Come home and tell the wife, hey, I found a bottle of Pappy. It was only $1,200. You spent how much on one bottle?
You did. What?
But anyway, you can win one in the Responder Rescue ATF raffle. All the money goes to responderrescue.org. They help our first responders when they're injured in the line of duty. And here's the easy way to do this. We need to sell more tickets. When I was off for that week, I wasn't out there pushing it, and ticket sales fell off, and we need to pick this up a little bit. We'll pick 3 winners on November 26th. So we'll announce those the day before Thanksgiving. The tickets are only $1 a piece, but because of the way the system works online, the minimum purchase is $10. You're getting 10 tickets for $10. If you buy more than that, you get a bonus. And then after you buy your tickets, if you share your experience on social media that you just bought these tickets for this great raffle, you get bonus tickets. So go in and check that out. All you have to do is a text responder to 33100. That's the easiest way to do this. Right from your phone, takes you straight to the charity website, and all of the money goes to Responder Rescue, 100% of it. And that's why we love doing this. I think we've raised about $130,000 for Responder Rescue over the last 4 years.
That's amazing.
So we need to get these donations up. Please help us out today. I would really, really appreciate it. You might win one of 3 great prizes, and you're welcome to share some of that Pappy with me when you win.
On National Kindness Day, you can show your kindness to our first responders.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's right. It's a way
Thank
to do
you.
it.
And I'll point out that I will be personally delivering the bourbon basket to you because I'm the one that's kind of assembled that. And it's not really a basket. You almost have to put them in boxes with the separator in there so the bottles don't clank around,
especially the Pappies. You don't need that bottle breaking or
bubble
cracking.
Wrapped.
Exactly.
I will bubble wrap that.
That'd be my luck. I'd win it, and then that bottle would break right in front of me.
I'd be down there licking it.
Text responder to 33100, and you can help us out. All right, Dan Buck, what do we have coming up here in a minute?
Oh, we've got a great comedian. I decided to lighten it up, being that it's National Kindness Day. We're going less political and getting some good laughs. So I've got a great comedian we're featuring on Thankful Thursday. So
all right, back in a minute.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
There is an accident on northbound 55 at Carondelet, and they've got the left lane blocked. Well, of course, this is a construction zone, so that's never great. And it's really jammed us up. In fact, they've closed down the highway here for a minute to try to get this cleared. So if you're jammed behind this, it's back getting closer to Rivas Barracks itself, and then getting south of there. It's now past it. It's not to Lindbergh, but it's creeping back. And again, they've got the road. Oh, there we go. Are we going to let a lane through? But it's that kind of situation. Now, that's the worst of it. Northbound 270, moderate volume in pockets between 55 and 64. 64 westbound, slow pockets between Hampton and 270. Eastbound, just the usual volume in pockets from out west toward the city. And eastbound 70, some slow-moving traffic out by Lake St. Louis Boulevard. The Illinois side, some slow going on westbound 55, 64, 70 across the bridge. And northbound Route 3 is really jammed in that area as well. Eastbound 64 jammed at Greenmount Road, all due to road work. This report brought to you by Aspen Contracting. Is your home siding cracked, faded, or storm damaged? Aspen has the materials, manpower, and project managers to get the job done fast. Call them today for a free siding inspection. 636-465-1696. I'm Sue Thomas with Traffic. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
You heard me just a minute ago mention the Range St. Louis West donators to the, of course, Responder Rescue ATF raffle. They're the firearms part of a ATF raffle. How about that? Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. We could not do this without them. They help us every year. They help us coordinate the online part of this, and then we will go out there to the range on November 26th and pick 3 winners. So thank you for that. Thank you for your donation of that CZ 9mm pistol valued at $500, which you might win. So if you have not been to the range, 14803 Manchester Road there in Baldwin, across from Velasquez Park, sits right there at the top of the hill, sort of behind that Wendy's. Go. If you love the Second Amendment as much as I do, go visit the range. Unparalleled training. I don't know anybody else in town that does the level of training and has the number of classes they do at the range. It's fantastic. A beautiful indoor range. The colder weather's now here. You can be a member or you don't have to, but if you shoot often, the membership pays for itself very quickly. And then you get discounts on accessories and ammunition and anything that you purchase at the range. So be sure and check them out. We certainly appreciate everything they do for us here at the radio station. Just go online to therangestl.com.
Visit 971talk.com/events and enjoy Trans-Siberian Orchestra, a Christmas tradition at Enterprise Center December 23rd. A portion of the proceeds benefits Siteman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. Visit 971talk.com.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
How would you like a free estimate on a Generac home standby generator from Generator Supercenter of St. Louis, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer? Give yourself peace of mind now by calling for a free estimate. 314-499-2020 or GeneratorSupercenterofStLouis.com.
Because we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see lots of lawyers' ads. Most seem to be bragging on results, but are they true or misleading? For example, in some cases, a firm may try a case even though the at-fault party has no lawyer, then brag in the ad about their results. My son Matt got one for nearly $50 million, but we never collected one dime. Some lawyers may say they got a result even though they were sitting second chair at a firm like mine, and even though they had little to do with it. Happens all the time. All that glitters is not gold. At Morgan & Morgan, our results are real. Visit forthepeople.com and go to Settlements and Verdicts to see for yourself what your case may be worth before you hire a law firm. Do your homework. Fact check. It's easy and too important not to. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. But don't give a f***.
Today is National Kindness Day, so for Thankful Thursday, I thought, you know what? Let's lighten it up a little bit. You know, it's a time when sometimes we get caught up in the stress of everyday life and all the uncertainty in our horrible political climate, and I just think it's important that we take time to find things and people around us and put people around us that make us laugh. Occasionally people are going to pop up on my social media page, and I love it when it's a comedian because I'm like, in the midst of all the other stuff that we do, both for this show and just, you know, as you're following the news, it can really wear you down. It can.
Yeah. And this guy's got his own story, right? Of sort of redemption.
Yeah, he was a comedian back in the 80s, and he suffered from, he was an atheist. He suffered from alcoholism, drug abuse, as he was, going through the early parts of his comedic career. Well, he's turned his life around. He's now a devout Christian. He has a super clean comedic act. He does appearances all over America, and he's just funny. And he's been on my social media feed for probably a year and a half, 2 years. But he always pops up when you need it. Like, I love it because he puts a lot out there, and for some reason he doesn't get on my feed that often. But when he does, it's just perfect timing. I love having him there, and I thought, you know what? I need to share him with more people. His name is Jeff Allen. He doesn't use any foul language, but he just makes people laugh, and he helps us remember simpler times in our life. Here's a clip from Jeff Allen on X as part of his experience as a grandfather. This is funny.
They've ruined everything. Playgrounds. I took my granddaughter to a playground. What happened to playgrounds? The slide is 5 feet high, made out of plastic. She would go 4 inches and stop, 4 inches and stop, 4 inches and stop. That's not a slide, it's a scoot. Wee papa, wee papa, wee papa, wee papa. What did we have? We had a 6-story high solid steel structure. About mid-July, mid-July would hit a temperature of about 285 degrees. You lose 2 layers of skin on the way down. Another layer when you hit the ground like a flat rock on a pond. Come back picking gravel out of your thighs. Yeah! Now it's wee papa, wee papa, wee papa. I wanted to shove her down the slide. I did. I wanted to shove her so she'd know what an exhilarating feeling of sliding. And I felt 6 iPhones on my back. Go ahead, old man. I dare you.
Oh, love this guy.
It's nuts. Car seats, I'm not against car seats. I'm just telling you, I'm tired of strapping my granddaughter in like a NASCAR driver to drive 2 miles to get a Diet Coke from the mini mart. She's 54 pounds. I'm going to get a hernia hauling her in and out of the state. What age can you take them out now? 5, 7, 18? Here's your high school diploma. You get to ride home like a big boy today. I mean, come on. Car seat, we didn't even have seat belts. I walked the back seat of my mother's car for 4 years. She'd be driving, I'd just be walking the back seat side to side.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, every now and then she'd hit the brakes, I'd fly up into the front. She'd toss me back like a trout. What are you doing up here? Get back there.
His name is Jeff Allen. You'll find him on X. You'll find him on Facebook. He does a lot. He is coming to St. Louis, doing a corporate event, I think, out in St. Charles next March. That was where I saw on his Facebook page that he was coming to St. Louis, but it looks like it's a private event.
Huh.
But I'm telling you, if you ever get a chance to go see Jeff Allen, and you get to see him whenever you want, if you go out there and visit his page on X. But love the guy. He's extremely funny, very clean. You won't be worrying about F-bombs and everything else listening to him. So.
Different from the Jeff Allen that helped found this radio station.
Yeah,
different guy,
different
same name.
one, same name.
I remember specifically riding in the back seat, playing with my little army men on the back part of the window, the rear window, while we're on long trips. I wasn't strapped in ever and survived it somehow. It's a miracle. And now you don't even know how... now they're 50 pounds and still facing backwards.
But
what's going on?
My mom would have me stand in behind her on our bench seat on the front of our car. Like as we were driving, while she's driving, I would be standing
behind
over
her.
Yeah, right behind her shoulders
To protect you?
Yep, I'd stand there, and if she'd put the brake out, the arm would come out to make sure I didn't go forward. But that's how I traveled, like as a little kid.
My dad built a platform in the back of our car to go over the hump and put styrofoam or something soft down foam.
Nice.
As an infant, I rode on that on the way to California. From Ohio to California.
We had a Riviera. I used to sleep in the window of the Riviera with that big bubble thing behind the back seat.
Those are the days, and look at us. We're still kicking. It's amazing.
Somehow we survived.
Coming up, we'll talk to Shannon Bream from Fox News Sunday, and we'll talk about more about options if you're worried about your premiums increasing on Obamacare at about 8:45. Stay tuned.
The ACA Market Plan has just announced significant increases on their monthly premiums for 2026, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Greg Hammond's Freedom of Choice plans now. You don't have to wait. One of their plans lets you use any doctor, has 0 outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower than most Obamacare plans. Other options are full coverage PPOs with national networks, copays, and 100% annual preventative care. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg, and they'll provide all available options. Call 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
Public schools, like public libraries, should be free and open to all. Open enrollment allows parents to choose the school that's the best fit for their children. Maybe another school has a wider curriculum, is bigger or smaller. Maybe a kid is being bullied and would be more comfortable at another school. 75% of parents favor open enrollment. Open enrollment programs now exist in 43 states, and Missouri should join them. Our next-door neighbor, Kansas, has one of the strongest open enrollment policies in the nation. Kansas parents are trusted with choices and options, while Missouri parents must move out of their home to change public schools. And it's a trend. Nationwide, the percentage of students going to their chosen public school has steadily increased. Assigning kids to schools based on their zip code is the old way. Open enrollment is a better way. Learn more at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
This is Kyle Bush with Crinch Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. Life changes, divorce, loss of a loved one, or an inheritance. It can be overwhelming. We provide the resources, long-standing support, and thoughtful guidance you need to plan ahead. With our help and experience, you don't have to navigate these transitions alone. You can move forward with greater clarity and confidence. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Servicing. Member FINRA/SIPC. Prince Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
License number E2014A.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Lights flickering?
Grasser can fix it.
Breaker keeps tripping?
That's a Grasser job.
Outlet not working?
Grasser makes it right.
Old wiring need a rewire?
Grasser rewires with care.
From little fixes to major fixes.
Even the tricky ones.
We treat your home like our own.
Treat? Did you say treat? Woof.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
This is a Fox News alert. The government is funded and back open. I'm Dave Anthony. After President Trump signed the bill, right after the House approved the Senate version last night, ending the record-long 43-day shutdown.
We went through this short-term disaster with the Democrats because they thought it would be good politically.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, he is defending the decision by Democrats to support this shutdown lasting, insisting it was the right thing to do in order to remind Americans why Obamacare insurance premiums are rising this year to levels he believes are unacceptable.
Democrats will keep pushing for an extension of Obamacare tax credits expiring at year's end for millions of Americans. Fox's Mark Meredith also reports from the Capitol.
What's interesting is House Republicans were also not thrilled with what the Senate sent over and was eventually signed into law last night because there was a provision that allowed a number of Republican senators to potentially sue the Department of Justice, potentially for hundreds of thousands of dollars, because their phone records were reviewed after the January 6th attack. Now, the Speaker is saying that he plans to have a vote next week to try to repeal that measure.
Now, there is a chance of another shutdown early next year. The funding approved in the bill only runs through January 30th, though some agencies will be funded through the fiscal year, including agriculture, which means SNAP food assistance that was interrupted this month is funded now through September. Air traffic controllers will be paid in the next few days, so staffing levels are increasing again, but the FAA still has reduced flight schedules today, so about 1,000 are canceled with more than 500 delays.
Things are going to start getting better over the next few days, but not today. So the airlines had largely already planned for this ramp up in cancellations, and it's going to take some time for things to get back to normal.
Fox's Garrett Tenney at Chicago's O'Hare Airport. It is a nightmare of a morning in Weatherford, Oklahoma, where hundreds had to evacuate their homes. Others have to shelter in place this morning. Schools are closed, all after a tanker truck leaked ammonia gas last night in a hotel parking lot. Those fumes sent 36 people to hospitals. America's listening to Fox News.
This month, Pure Talk is supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat vets struggling with PTSD. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. Sure, I like the unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and you will too. But you will love being in business with a company that shares your values. Dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
For 97.1 FM Talk, I'm Dan Buck. It's 8:03, 45 degrees under cloudy skies. A former police chief and city administrator of Velda City in North St. Louis County pled guilty in federal court Wednesday to 3 felony counts of fraud and theft. According to officials, 51-year-old Daniel Pauley stole more than $158,000 in city funds. He was appointed as city administrator in 2021. He had served as police chief for over a decade until that department dissolved in 2024. Pauley faces up to 40 years in prison when he's sentenced in February. Israeli manufacturer ICL Group on Wednesday announced the $570 million battery component factory that was planned to be built along the city's industrial North Riverfront is officially dead. The decision comes after the Department of Energy pulled a $200 million grant for the project. DOE said the project value did not match the consumer demand. Later today, 3,200 Boeing Machinist Union members will vote on the latest offer from the company to end a 70-day-long strike. The company recently upped their return-to-work bonus to $6,000, and it also includes a 24% base pay increase over the 5 years of the contract. If approved, the machinists could be back to work by Monday. In sports, the Missouri Tigers basketball team went on an 18-1 run to start the second half. They blew open the game against Minnesota, winning 83-60. Tonight, the 8-2 Patriots will face the 2-7 Jets on Thursday Night Football, and the Blues will be home this weekend. Friday, they host the Flyers. Saturday night, Vegas Golden Knights will come to town. That's your headlines. I'm Dan Buck for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, they've cleared the accident northbound 55 at Carondelet. We still have a slow go through the construction zone from about Rebus Barracks. Northbound 270, slow pockets north of 21 through Ladue Road. Southbound is looking better. Now, we do have some volume on eastbound 64. And it's mainly just at Timberlake Manor. Then you get a break east of Lindbergh, then through Big Bend. 70 looks good out west. There was a little bit of volume just west of Jennings Station Road. And if you're headed in from Illinois, slow-moving traffic westbound 5564 from 70 across the Poplar. Northbound Route 3 is slowing at the bridge itself, and eastbound 64 is jammed at Greenmount Road due to that ongoing construction. This report brought to you by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
From now on, if you spring a leak, need a water heater, or have hard water,
thanks for calling Jerry Kelly Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical.
Jerry Kelly will fix the leak, install the thing, and make that hard water easy. From the company who's got your whole home covered.
JerryKelly.com. Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Partly sunny skies with us on this Thursday, and though it's chilly out the door this morning, it's another nice afternoon for the middle of November. 65 for the high. Temperature-wise, much like yesterday. Tonight, partly cloudy. It's warmer overnight, only 52 for the low. The evening should be pretty nice. Again, for this time of year. Friday, mostly sunny and wonderful. 75 for the high Friday. 78 on Saturday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Thanks, Dave. It is 8:07. We've got cloudy skies, 45 degrees. Don't forget, you can listen to the Marc Cox Morning Show live or on demand anytime, anywhere. All you need to do is download that free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Yeah, 2 words of warning on this Thursday. Never run to a microphone, Dan Buck, and never try to eat a piece of bit of honey candy
before going
2
on
minutes
the air.
before going on the air. I had to spit mine out there a minute
Dude,
ago. Sorry.
what a waste of the greatest candy
I know.
ever made. You just gave me 2 of them, and I go, did somebody tell you that's like my favorite candy?
My friend Kevin, my neighbor, brought these to me. I think he went to Farm and Home out there on Mid Rivers Mall Drive. They sell them out there by the bag, and he brought me a bag of them.
Look
Thank
at
you, Kevin.
on the day of national kindness. You give me my favorite pieces of candy.
See, we're trying to lure you in here and keep you around.
There
Once Kim is
you go.
back, we're going to keep us some Dan Buck on the air for sure. We hope.
We love bit of honey. You can bribe me with bit of honey. I might come in more often. Just got to work on that 5 a.m. crowd.
I know that's
early.
the catch here. Unfortunately, that's one of the requirements is getting here in early for that for sure. All right, so Shannon Bream is going to be joining us shortly. Obviously, she'll have more on reaction to government reopening and what that means and maybe what damage is already done. I don't know. I'd like to talk to her about the Epstein case as well, since the Democrats are trying to make a nothing burger something yesterday, even though they've had this information forever. Suddenly it's a breaking news, which you'll hear from Ari Melber here in just a minute. Griff Jenkins is going to join us as he always does on a Thursday morning, and my friend Bill Pauley is going to join us. Bill is an insurance broker who helps people find insurance that's suited to them, right? So if you're a 65-year-old man, you don't need insurance that covers birth control. I mean, it's stupid things that Obamacare forced into some of these policies that make them all so expensive. You're paying for things you don't need.
Right.
And if these subsidies don't get renewed, which I hope many of them don't, your false amount you've been paying for insurance, it's been subsidized by the taxpayers, is going to go up. And if you're shopping for alternatives, that's why I invited Bill on today, because he can talk about what's out there that you may not know about and maybe how much cheaper it is than what you're paying now. So we will talk to Bill here at the end of the hour, about 8:45. Be sure and stick around for that. Right now, Ethan, let's get to our top stories, please.
The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
I can't tell you how many times someone has pulled me aside and said either I was once a big Trump voter and a Trump supporter and I watched Fox News every day, but then I started to kind of expand my world and where I got information, and now I've learned and now I've changed and I'm with you and I learn from you.
You see, if you just listened to Alex from the Hood, you would get on board with her.
Yes.
Come on.
I am telling you, it's like I could match her 5-1 on how many people have left the Republicans to become Democrats versus Democrats who've become Republicans.
That's her story, and she's sticking to it.
Thanks to President Trump's direct engagement with President Xi, the government of China committed fully to my engagement there on the ground in Beijing at a level never seen before.
That is fighting fentanyl precursors that all come from China, and how to slow down all of this junk that's getting into the U.S. and killing our children. Thank you, Kash Patel.
The bombshell confirmation, the revelations in this ongoing Trump-Epstein scandal. Donald Trump is in the Epstein emails. That is now confirmed.
He's in it because Epstein wrote about him. He's not corresponding with him in these emails.
Thank you. It's a smoking gun. It's breaking news.
And now it's the Trump-Epstein scandal.
That we've known about for a long, long time. There's absolutely nothing there.
No fabrication here.
Donald Trump to the rescue again yesterday when it comes to humor. Listen to this interaction with the Syrian president who was in the Oval Office. The guy's name is Ahmed al-Shra, I think, or Shah.
Former terrorist.
Oh, he was at some point in his past. He was.
Yeah.
Now he's risen to president of Syria. Listen to what Trump said to him.
It's the best fragrance. Come here. I have one here, sir. Okay. So what we'll do is just take that, Joe, put it in, and then the other one is for your wife. How many ones? One for what?
I can't hear what he said.
He's giving him a bottle of Trump cologne.
Oh,
he sprays it
my
on his neck, and he goes, I want you to give the other bottle to your wife. Wait a minute. How many wives do you have? I can never tell, he says at the end of it.
Oh, no. I might have to go get 6 more bottles.
Oh, my God. That hurts to laugh that deeply. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's it. Trump says this to the president of Syria yesterday. How many wives do you have? I can't keep up. I guess he's been to Saudi Arabia where they have harems, and he wasn't sure how they're handling that in Syria right now.
I don't know either. I think within that Muslim community, I think the guy was a former member of ISIS too, by the way. I was either them or Al-Qaeda. Back when he was 19, he was an actual fighter, but has now ascended to be the Syrian new president and seems to want to play ball with the United States.
Well, let's hope.
And help broker some peace in Israel and Gaza.
And Trump's taking a lot of grief for it.
Yeah, and the prime minister of Israel's not been so kind, saying, "Hey, you know, the proof will come in the actual actions."
Can
of
they
Syria.
change their colors?
Yes,
would be the question.
Can he really change from being a hardcore terrorist to being the leader of a nation and support peace? We'll see.
We'll know quickly, and Syria is another example of dominoes that fell that allowed the United States to exert its influence over Iran. If that becomes a vacuum, if the politics of Syria become a vacuum, it will quickly get filled because nature abhors a vacuum. The terrorists will fill that place up and start lobbing bombs at Israel again if that's what happens. So what he's trying to do here is support some normalcy in that country. We may be a long way from that day, but it's better to get started early and try to support somebody that might seem to have a shred of control over that situation before it would turn into something we don't want over there. And I mean, I think good for him for trying. Saying you're not going to talk to somebody never solves anything. Yeah. Does it?
No.
I mean, that seems to be the Democrat approach. Joe Biden didn't talk to anybody for 4 years, including the media or apparently his own press secretary. So what's the problem with that? Maybe Jim Carafano, if we get him on tomorrow, can give us his thoughts on this guy in Syria. He may not be a Boy Scout, but you've got to hedge your bets in a situation like that.
Yeah, and isn't Syria one of the countries in the Abraham Accords right now?
I don't know.
I believe they were included. I know you had Arab Emirates, you had Bahrain, you had Jordan, Sudan, Morocco. I'm trying to think there was a couple more. And I think Syria, along with Saudi Arabia and Lebanon, are all included in that.
Well, that would be good for their economy if it's true, for sure.
And obviously, I'm sure that was part of the reason why he was visiting the White House is Trump is making a huge effort to strengthen that alliance around the Abraham Accords and continue to welcome in nations as part of this peace agreement, because I think that's going to be the backbone of the Gaza Israeli peace agreement.
Yeah, if they're all making money off each other, then that's going to help.
Yeah, and that they have to that Muslim nations have to be supportive of peace.
I agree.
Otherwise, Gaza is going to continue to be a hot spot. I just don't know who's going to go in there and actually be the peacekeeping force when we get to phase 2.
Good question.
Yeah, it'll be
hopefully it's not U.S. boots on the ground.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break. We've got Shannon Bream, host of Fox News Sunday. On the other side of this, there was some action at the Supreme Court this week. And, of course, the government is reopened. What exactly is the fallout from all of that? We'll talk to Shannon up next.
And I can eat some of my honey.
Eat your bit of honey in the commercial here.
Got it.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
A couple of accidents reported along eastbound 44, one at Antire and the other one at 141. That one appears to be on the right-hand side. We still have some moderate volume along northbound 270. Right now it's from 21 through Ladue Road. Westbound 6440, some moderate volume Hampton through Hanley, but it's also slow due to road work just west of K. Now, eastbound traffic on 40, slowing at Timberlake Manor and then east of Lindbergh through Big Bend, but it's just moderate volume. 70 looks great out west into downtown. Watch out for a slowdown westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge and eastbound 64 on the Illinois side, headed for Greenmount Road, all due to road work. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
This report is sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis.
Attention veterans and active military. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is giving veterans and active military 10% off all month. That's 10% off all doors, openers, and any service or repair. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Hey, let's talk about your mortgage for just a minute. And if you are thinking about going out and getting a new one because you found a house you want to buy, you're going to sell yours, or you just want to refinance and get to some of that equity that you're sitting on, great time to do it. For Golden Oak Lending, 4.5% right now on a fixed 15-year FHA loan. That's a pretty good deal, and that gives you the opportunity to get rid of those 25, 28, 30% short-term loans you've taken out, maybe a payday loan or, some sort of a credit card debt that you got hanging out there. The average customer over there, they tell me, saves over $1,100 a month. Just over $1,100 is the average that they're not paying out to debtors anymore because they've used some of that equity they're sitting on. They pay it off. Then you've got a great mortgage rate at 4.5% for 15 years. Call them today, see if they can help you. 314-567-GOLD. 314-567-GOLD. Do it right now. You're going to get a great rate, plus you're going to get about 2 months without a house payment when you do that. So call Golden Oak. Ask them any questions you might have. You can start your application online at goldenoaklending.com. Now, that's a 5.442 APR, FHA 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit, and additional terms do apply. Their NMLS number is 114937.
Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I ended up going to a dentist, and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found the Brooks Night Guard. You mold it at home to the top or bottom teeth. Other mouth guards go all the way to the back, which allows the back teeth to touch. This is where most of the grinding and clenching occurs. The Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Order your Brooks Night Guard today and get 10% off plus free shipping. Go to brooksnightguard.com and enter the code BRUX91. That's BRUX91.
Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard.
I hear from sellers all the time that they fear they have missed out on the selling market. They are so relieved to learn September, October, and November are strong selling months. With low inventory and hopefully lower interest rates, this fall will be a hot one for real estate. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. You may have heard me say, why pay more than $4 for years? Now it's why pay more than $2, saving you even more money. Call me 314-441-4444. And remember, why pay more than $2?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri, Kansas, and Nevada.
Hey, this is Ryan Wiggins. You know I love great deals, and when I find one, I'm going to pass it along. How about 75% off of snacks, chips, and especially Little Debbie products? It's its second-generation distribution in Roxana. I go there all the time. Plus, you can search through while you're there. Their nice selection of toys, electronics, home goods, apparel, all discounted. You're going to love this store Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 301 South Old Edwardsville Road in Roxana, Illinois, or visit them online to see the full inventory. Type in Little Debbie Store Roxana.
Missouri Grit. Marc Cox on 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
I want to also thank the 8 Senate Democrats who finally did the right thing in voting to end this craziness, this madness. But unfortunately, the vast majority of congressional Democrats were happy for millions of Americans to suffer. They really did suffer, too. And the Democrats admitted, they said, well, no, we finally have a point. Even though people have to suffer, we finally have a point. And that didn't work out too well for them. But they really went out and they could appease the fringe benefits of their far left base.
There's only one Shannon.
Shannon Bream, host of Fox News Sunday. All right, Shannon, the president there taking a little victory lap last night when he signed that bill, huh?
Well, listen, Republicans feel like they held the line and they didn't cave on any of the big substantive things that the Democrats wanted. I mean, Democrats are saying, well, look, we get a vote on the ACA extensions of those subsidies, at least on the Senate side. Sounds like there's no guarantee on the House side, and there's no guarantee they'll pass. So I hear a lot of consternation in Democratic circles who feel like they went to the wall and then caved.
Yeah, you know, the big story I think that came out of that last night, the president also talked about fixing Obamacare and sending money directly to people. Now, I'm not quite sure how that works. Would that require congressional action in order to get that done?
Yeah, I think so. And one of the guests we hope to have on Sunday we're talking with is Senator Bill Cassidy, happens to be a medical doctor. And this is something that he's been working on very seriously with some serious Democrat counterparts. I mean, they're actually having substantive conversations about how do you go around the insurance companies and give them money to the enrollees. So then they have their money, they can take it to the places that work for them and create a little bit more private type competition among these businesses and insurers. So there are serious talks about that. And I hope they bear fruit and possibly some other options, but we're hoping to get Senator Cassidy come explain it on Sunday.
Yeah, not to get too deep in the weeds on that, but I think it would almost have to be like an HSA account, right? Because you couldn't just hand somebody $2,000 and say, go buy insurance. Many will go buy a new 60-inch TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there would definitely be very tight strings on where it goes. We know that the government, one of our problems with overspending is there's so much waste, fraud, and abuse. And a lot of, members agree on that.
Yes.
Dems and Republicans will say these programs have that problem. So I think what they're looking at is something like you talked about, putting into an account where you could pull from there to pay medical expenses, medical insurance, all those kinds of things, but in a way that takes out sort of the middleman. Insurance premiums have continued to go up, as we know, since the Affordable Care Act went into effect. You know, Kaiser Family Foundation, who tracks this stuff, says, with the subsidies, what most people don't understand is that people are getting the Obamacare subsidies. Their insurance premiums are covered, 80% of them, roughly 80% or more. And so I didn't really understand that until recent weeks. We've been debating this and thinking that, okay, those of us who are taxpayers are underwriting it by that much, suggests to me that it's not affordable care.
You know, the logistics of reopening the government is got to be monumental. So many programs got halted. There's so much back work that I'm sure has had to be done. How are they doing this? Will it be really at the discretion of each secretary to get their programs up and running, whether it's SBA or DOL or HUD? Or, I mean, who's going, how quickly can this, get re-charged and get refunded and get people back to work?
Well, we're told the expectation is if the government's back in, you are expected to turn up as a federal employee. Yeah. And they consider the government back in business at midnight. So, some of these different paychecks, we understand, I think it was air traffic controllers will get 70% of their back pay immediately, and the rest of that back pay will show up in their next week. Paycheck next week. So hopefully these folks get made right. They've got bills to pay, and hopefully that happens very quickly. But the expectation is with the government, quote unquote, now reopen, you got to be back at work.
Yeah. Right. Let me ask you a couple Supreme Court questions. The SNAP decision made by the court, they extended Trump's decision not to pay full SNAP benefits. That's kind of a moot issue now, right?
It may be, because there may be still some questions about is that handled the same way as federal pay? Is it going to be back pay? Like if you missed a couple of weeks of benefits, will you get those couple of weeks back, or do we just pick up from here? The court extended that pause on that until the 13th. So I think it's the court's hope that this will be resolved and make sense to everybody by then, and we'll know the status of the money and whether it's been fully paid out. So the court has paused it until all of the dust settles.
Well, Shannon, I don't think you and I have had a chance to talk since that court hearing last week on tariffs, right, where Scott Besson attended that. I'm sure you were in the room. How did it sound?
Well, the first half of it, I thought they're in big trouble. The White House is in very big trouble because there was tough questioning across the bench, very skeptical questions. for the Solicitor General, John Sauer, represents the Trump administration. And, there was this whole question about, okay, the president's out there bragging about the revenue this is bringing into the Treasury, sees that as a positive thing, good thing for the country. But if we view this as revenue, that's viewed as a tax. And that's not for the executive branch to do. Only Congress can do that. Did they, in the language of the statute, which never uses the word tariff, the one the president's relying on, did they foresee that that's what he would do? So it was really tough questioning. Now, the second hour of that, they were tough on the other side, too, the other attorneys arguing against it. But I think that the president's going to have a really heavy lift to win this case. I think it's going to be a tough one, a very close one.
Wow.
And if they come down, does it undo all the tariff work he's done?
Well, that's the question. And Justice Barrett brought that up. She said, listen, this looks like it's going to be a big mess. Those were her words. If we do this, they have to think through the logistics of what they would actually do. Some of the attorneys there on site were representing just a handful of businesses and said, listen, we're just worried about our businesses, these 5 businesses. So we think it'd be easy to figure out refunds to them. But there are probably thousands and thousands and thousands of businesses out there that will go after those refunds if this is how this goes down. Now, interestingly enough, I saw CNBC had a piece with a number of importers who said it really wouldn't be that confusing. The paperwork is very line item for each tariff that you're paying. And they think the paperwork trail would be there to get it undone. The White House, of course, has said it would be chaos. They don't want to do it. I tried to press Secretary Besson on what's the backup plan, and they don't seem to really want to discuss that possibly happening.
Yeah, I bet not. At least the checks haven't been handed out yet. That's for sure. Shannon, thank you.
Great to see you guys.
Yep, we'll be watching you. Thank you. We'll be watching Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fox News Sunday. You can listen to it right here on the radio station, I think at 4 p.m.
She is
on Sunday
so
afternoons.
knowledgeable when it comes to the court. Of course, she was a clerk, which helps.
It was great, yeah.
She understands the inner workings, but she's great.
All right, our buddy Griff Jenkins, where in the world is he today? We're going to talk to him coming up at 8:35. Stay tuned.
So choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
Hey, let's talk about Rhino Shield and the great job they did for me. Listen, it's getting colder outside. They will apply Rhino Shield as long as they can, but lucky for you, you can lock in 2025 pricing right now by calling Darren over at Rhino Shield. Let him come out there, give you that free evaluation, and then if they can't get the job done this year before it gets too cold, they'll plan to do it. They start up again in March. So you just call them. You tell them you heard Marc Cox bragging about it. You were thinking about putting moldy siding on the side of your house. Don't do that. Cover up your house. Maintain that architectural thing that you love so much in your house. 877-25-RHINO is the phone number. Or you can always go online to 877-25rhino.com. This is a beautifully durable paint job that will last because you get a 25-year transferable warranty. I'm a satisfied customer. Reach out today at 877-25-RHINO.
I'm Jim Chesko with your Money Now. Wall Street futures are pointing to a slightly lower open for the market. This after a mixed performance Wednesday that saw the Dow Jones Industrial Average notch its first ever close above 48,000. Reporting quarterly results after the Wednesday close, Cisco Systems slightly topped expectations for both adjusted earnings and revenue, and it issued a bullish forecast for the current period. The networking giant's revenue rose 8% year over year to nearly $14.9 billion, helping shares rally 5.5% ahead of today's open. A federal court jury has awarded more than $28 million to the family of a woman who died in the crash of a Boeing 737 MAX jetliner in Ethiopia back in 2019. The verdict was reached on behalf of relatives of Shika Garg, a United Nations consultant, after a week-long trial in Chicago, where Boeing used to have its headquarters. U.S. oil futures are higher today. December crude up about 1%. That's your Money Now.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question.
If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next-day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Good morning to you. Well, I'll tell you what, we're thinning out nicely as far as traffic goes. Northbound 270, though, still plenty of volume between Gravois and Ladue Road. 70, though, looks great, and that's Forestel all the way into downtown. Westbound 64 is a slow go past Highway K. That is all due to road work. And northbound 55, we had another accident reported really close to River de Pere and Carondelet. So still some slow-moving traffic there. And if you're headed in from Illinois, there's some moderate volume for the length of the Poplar Street Bridge. Not too bad on the Illinois side. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Brought to you by heatupstlouis.org. Cold weather is coming, and heatupstlouis.org needs your help now. Your dollars can help keep the heat on for Missouri and Illinois veterans and families struggling with high utility bills. Donate today at heatupstlouis.org or drop a check to Heat Up St. Louis at any area Commerce Bank.
All righty, we're getting ready to come into winter here where we're going to be using our furnaces. A lot of you are getting prices now, or you're getting your furnaces checked and you're being told that you have an issue with your furnace and you need a new furnace. So if that is the case and you want a very simple common sense approach to picking a furnace, if that's the case, I'd appreciate you calling and giving me a chance to meet with you and discuss your options. So call me. It's one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. Just one number. Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600. That's Bart Inman, 314-293-2600, or on the web is bartinman.com. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
What you don't want to be is one of the people who says after they've retired, man, I wish I knew this before I retired. Oof. That is exactly why Financial and Tax Architects was founded to begin with, because they help people come into retirement knowing what to do, how to keep more of what you've earned and to make it last. If you don't have professional help like Financial and Tax Architects, how do you know you're going to make it? So they put on a class. It's called Retirement Planning 101. It's just super practical. It's just 2.5 hours, and they hold it at colleges throughout the area. And they focus on education. They want you to understand how retirement works so they can help you and then get you to your best possible retirement. Now, it's easy to register. It's free, but you do have to register. Call 314-888-5101, 314-888-5101, and start there.
Many of you know that my inspiration for becoming an accident attorney was my brother Tim, who was rendered a quadriplegic at age 18. I didn't know what a personal injury lawyer was or what they did, but I soon did. Tim was treated terribly by the insurance company, and I became enraged. It was a constant delay and deny. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Tim later worked with me for 27 years. Last year, my hero died at age 65. You can see my eulogy for him by visiting mybrothertim.com. He was one hell of a man. Because of Tim, together we built the largest injury firm in the world, and our clients are treated the way I would want my family to be treated. At Morgan & Morgan, nobody is a nobody and everybody is a somebody. If you need our help, visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer. See you soon, Tim. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey guys, Sid Glockencold here from Tactical in St. Peter's. Today, conservatives and Christians are being targeted with violence more than ever. Stop in and get what you need to protect your family and your flock. Tactical Cave Springs in St. Peter's.
Where common sense rules the mic. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Hi, Sharon. It's Donald Trump, and I just wanted to wish you the best and the family of great. Ozzy was amazing. He was an amazing guy. I met him a few times, and I want to tell you, he was unique in every way and talented. So I just wanted to wish you the best, and it's a tough thing. I know how close you were, and whatever I can do, take care of yourself. Say hello to the family. Thanks. Bye.
Love him or hate him, he didn't have to call and leave a voicemail.
Listen, when it comes to politics, we know nobody comes out a winner.
In Kyiv, Ukraine, Griff Jenkins, Fox News. Along the southern border, Griff Jenkins, Fox News. At the White House, Griff Jenkins, Fox News. In St. Louis, Griff Jenkins, Fox News.
Tell me where in the world is
Griff Jenkins.
Hey, Griffer, how are you, my friend?
Good morning and happy Thursday. The government is open again.
Yes.
You know, winter's here, but at least the government's finally open, and the Democrats are thinking about whether they accomplished anything over 43 days. And clearly they've moved on to other things like those Epstein files.
It's true. You know, I had to play that bite off the top there because the Osborne family shared that yesterday, that, you know, with everything else that's going on in the world, Donald Trump took time out of his day to call and leave a voicemail for Sharon Osbourne after Ozzy Osbourne died. And, you know, like their, I don't know what their politics are, to be honest with you, but it was nice of them to share that with the world.
Well, I'm really glad you played it, Mark, because, you know, so I know Osborne's by way of Greta Van Susteren. If you remember, for about 10 years, I was Greta Van Susteren's correspondent, and she is very close with Sharon and was with Ozzy every year. I would help sort of coordinate bringing them. A lot of years they came to the White House Correspondents Center, and they were often Greta's esteemed guest at her table.
Wow.
And the Osbornes are such amazing people, and particularly I knew Sharon better than Ozzy, and you know, she really didn't wear her politics on her sleeves, and she had a wide array of friends, but she clearly did have a connection with President Trump, and you know, for those of us that have been fortunate to spend time with President Trump, and even going back to the campaign trail for the first time, you know, when you hear every now and then in the media that he really does call reporters and talk to people in the press more than you would think, that's an understatement. But beyond the sort of reaching out and maintaining actual conversations with reporters, even some that he disagrees with, he has a deep empathy in him, despite the caricature that the liberal media makes him out to be. And he's very engaging. You know, the only other president that I can say that you know, sort of had that same vibe, if you will, that's the buzzword these days amongst the youngsters, that was Bill Clinton. And Bill Clinton was very warm and very empathetic, and you know, the world could be collapsing around him, and yet he could really focus on you. When you're talking to him, you felt like he really gave a damn about what the heck you were talking about, or what you were talking about, you were dealing with. And I didn't know Clinton nearly as well as I know this president. And let me tell you, it's genuine. That phone call was genuine. And I think that, you know, the Osbornes released that because they want the world to know, too, like, hey, this isn't Adolf Hitler. This is a guy that will take time and reach out. And I'm glad that call's out there. I'm glad you played it.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Do you have Trump's cell phone?
No.
No.
If I get called, I get called. The calls don't go in the other direction.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I bet you I bet you have the Secretary of Defense's, War Department Secretary. You probably have his cell phone.
Well, that cell phone now was in frequent use before his specific designation. And if anyone ever releases a bunch of text messages, I'll deny any knowledge of them, but I might have his phone number.
That's funny because, of course, we have the phone number, the cell phone number for Will Scharf, who's the secretary there in the White House, right? He's the one that announces all of Trump's executive actions, and he's not allowed to talk to us anymore.
Oh, really? I love it. Well, look, at the end of the day, I mean, the one thing that this entire administration, and it's Vance's team and Rubio's team and everyone else, is they are far more accessible because I think they want to be able to connect with the country, right? I mean, that's the problem with Washington. For years and years, it was always about, we're making the decisions and, you don't get to even see how the sausage is made. And this in the name of transparency, I think this administration is getting high marks so far in the second term in terms of both access and transparency. Now, granted, there is my aforementioned friend and Secretary of War Hegseth took a lot of heat for kicking the press out of the Pentagon.
Right.
But that aside, I do think that this is a very accessible administration.
So what's Washington like right now, Griff? I assume the bad traffic resumed this morning?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I'm about to head to a train, take the time to call you, and then in about 30 minutes somebody will hop on a train and head to New York. But it will hopefully be not as busy of a train as I've seen recently because everybody that could take a train instead of flying because of the chaos.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Hey, Griff, we were talking about the Department of War. The story really not being told and obviously overshadowed by the government shutdown and now the reopening is the Venezuelan story and the huge military presence we have down in the Gulf. And I mean, that could escalate quickly into something, much bigger than what it is, not just drug boats, but it could escalate if they take any offensive action against any of our military personnel out there in international waters. What's the feel in Washington of where that's going to go?
Dan, I'm glad you raised that, and I think the bottom line is keep your eye on that space. I'm obviously very interested in that. We're going to talk about it on Fox and Friends this weekend because, look, you've got Carrier Strike Group 12, which is our most fierce carrier strike group in the region with the USS Ford, the largest carrier in just off the shores of Venezuela now. And, military analysts like Jack Keane and others are saying that, such a show of force in the Southcom region is probably not quite enough of what you would see typically, building up for an actual ground invasion, but certainly overkill when you're talking about taking out some narco boats.
Yeah.
And so I think there's an ambiguity there that's made to make Maduro really scratch his head and wonder what the heck's going on. And we do know from various reporting that the U.S. has done some PSYOP stuff, sending our CIA guys in to start finding the people around Maduro who might be able to cave and turn him. Because if the end goal is, regime change by getting Venezuela to turn on him, then that might be just enough to have this show of force threaten him while taking out the narco boats and then getting people like his defense minister, his attorney general, others who really do hold keys to the power to turn on him and run.
Well, Griff, we appreciate your time, my friend. I assume your train trip to New York is free now, courtesy of Zohran Mamdani, right?
I hope so. And just keep watching that rise of socialism. I covered that story yesterday. Mamdani is the first, but I don't think he's going to be the last across the country.
Oh, it'll come to St. Louis next. You just wait. I know it's coming. All right, buddy. Thank you.
Hey, have a great weekend, guys.
You too.
Have a great one, Griff.
I
Bye-bye.
appreciate that. Yeah, he has to go up there and work all weekend. So my guess is Thursday's his day off, and he still agrees to do this hit with us every day. Isn't that great?
That's super nice.
Got to run. My friend Bill Pauley's up next. We're going to talk more about alternatives to these Obamacare policies you hear so much about. We'll be right back.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, MoDOT reporting a traffic signal issue westbound 6440 to Maryville Center Drive. Now, just bear that in mind. We've got some volume, a real jam on westbound 6440 past Highway K. That is due to road work. Eastbound, though, just a little slow, 170 through Big Bend and at Vandeventer. Northbound 270 is stacked up still. And this is essentially 44. We had an accident reported near Manchester, causing a delay. We are fine on the bridges downtown, but eastbound 64 jams headed for Greenmount Road on the Illinois side. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
All right, thanks to my friends at Hanson's Tree Service. We just celebrated Veterans Day this week. They are honoring local veterans through what they call Operation SOS, serving our soldiers, and I love that. Chad and the folks out there know freedom isn't free, and on Veterans Day and on Veterans Month is what they like to call it. They're going to do their best to show you what gratitude really looks like. So here's the call for you. Nominate a veteran you know. A military family, a veteran. You just go to hansonstree.com, a family that could use a helping hand, and they will go out there. They're going to read the story that you write about them, and they're going to pick their winners, and then they will go out and they will provide free tree care, right? Whether you need something chopped down, mulched, stump grinded, whatever it happens to be, as their way of giving back. And in the meantime, if you have tree work you need to get done between now and when it gets cold here, it's a great time to get those trees trimmed and pruned. Call Hanson's Tree Service. They'll send someone out and show you exactly what it is you're doing, probably wrong, and they can fix it for you. Go online today to hansonstree.com.
Police versus firefighters in the ring for charity. It's the 38th annual Guns N' Hoses event, the day before Thanksgiving. Catch all the action as we broadcast Guns N' Hoses live on 97.1 FM Talk.
Hey, Stewie, I need some cash. I need money. Who doesn't need money? What can you do for me?
You know, Annie, this is a question people ask all the time. Now, pay attention because this is important. Don't get a home equity line of credit. A home equity line of credit is a credit card on your house. It's typically not a fixed rate, so it's an adjustable. You pay interest only. And there's a short-term opportunity to take the money out, and then later on, it turns into a loan that's a really high interest rate. Cash out refinance. That's the most important thing. Refinance your entire mortgage. Get the best rate that's out there. Give yourself the opportunity to refinance later when the rates drop. A cash out refinance is a little bit higher of a rate than a rate and term refinance. Do the cash out now, set yourself up for the future, and get the best deal out there. Just do me one favor. Don't tell my wife about this because she's going to want all the cash in the world to buy a new car.
Well, if you want to know more, Google the Bagel Loan to find out more information or call my friend Stewie, 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Google the Bagel Loan for more information. NMLS number 226715.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
So much money is involved.
and we're willing to pay so much money to the people. So we're going to pay a lot of money to the people. They're going to go out and buy their own health care, and we're going to get this Obamacare madness.
Yeah, that's President Trump yesterday talking about a direction he'd like to go. Obviously, he's going to need some congressional help in order to do that. In the meantime, it's open enrollment for a lot of people. There's a lot you need to know. I asked my friend Bill Pauley from the Pauley Agency to join us this morning to talk more about that. Bill, good morning.
Good morning, Mark. Thank you for having me here.
You're a fine human being and a great Kentucky Wildcat fan as well, I'd like to point out
yes,
to my
sir.
listeners. Yeah. Sorry about the Louisville game the other night.
Oh, you got to take the good with the bad sometimes.
That was rough.
Yeah. For sure.
Anyway, is Lisa still a Louisville fan?
No, she's a Kentucky Wildcat.
Oh, okay.
fan.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought you used to have a sign that said a house divided. I was a little concerned about that. All right. Anyway, let's talk about Obamacare and open enrollment and all of that. What do people need to know right now as of the 13th of November?
Well, as of right now, there's a lot of misinformation out there. A lot of people that are scared, saying that all the significant increases are because the subsidies have totally gone away, and nothing is farther from the truth. What has happened is they've gone to the actual law of the 150 to 400% federal poverty level, and the Income Reduction Act is gone now. It's kind of like, you give a kid ice cream, and for 3 or 4 years you give sprinkles on tops and all the other stuff, and you're still getting your ice cream, people. You're still getting the subsidies, but the little sprinkles on top, the extra subsidies, is gone away, and it's gone to what the rates should have been all along. Yeah. So I don't feel, in what I see, that extra part is going to come back. So we have to deal with the platform and what we have right now.
And what alternatives can you provide for them there at the Pauley Agency? What are you doing?
Oh, there are several alternatives, and that's another kind of misinformation that people have out there, is that this is the only thing that's available to them is the ACA. And if you qualify, there are private plans out there that we can definitely show you and guide you to and help you through. Private PPO networks that are much better than the networks that you find on the ACA. So there are a lot of alternatives out there.
You heard the president just a moment ago that Mark played that talked about the potential of a voucher-like program where people could get a health account. How do you see that potentially playing out, that they would basically give more discretion to the American citizen versus them forcing all people in, making it more of an individual decision based on your health needs and your health situation?
It could be very interesting. It would privatize insurance again, and then you have the competition against each other, which helps bring down those prices, because right now it's
cash cow. Yeah, cash
right?
cow from the government, right? Yeah.
And so they're just raking in the money from those subsidies, and it's going to the insurance companies. But if you privatize it and they have to bring rates down to be competitive again, I think it will help everyone.
Yeah. We're talking to Bill Pauley. He's from the Pauley Agency. You guys you're a brokerage, correct? So when people
Correct.
call you, Bill, what can they expect to what kind of help can you give them?
We will assess your own personal needs, what you've been on before, what you're looking for. We'll talk about your health history and the doctors and networks that you need to be in. And it doesn't matter which direction you go. We don't care what plan it is, as long as it's the right plan for you. And so we are connected with our clients and engage with them so that they feel a part of the process. And we're not going to push any one plan on anybody, but we're going to look and find the best plan that's going to be for them.
And can you help people if they have Medicare questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes,
Okay.
We do Medicare, we do group, we do life insurance, the full gambit of whatever people's needs are.
Tell people how to get a hold of you. I know the website is paulieagency.com, correct?
Yes, paulieagency.com is the website, and there's a link there that you can schedule appointments, or you can dial the office line at 636-222-2149.
All right, very good. Bill, we appreciate your time, and let's hope for better things for our Wildcats this year.
That's right. I'm looking forward to a good season.
Yes, sir. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
All right, Bill Pauley there, the Pauley Agency. When you search that on your browser, just put in Pauley, Pauley, pauleyagency.com, and that'll get you straight to his website. Hopefully that helps people that have questions out there. All right, that's going to do it for us. Text Responder to 33100. Buy your Responder Rescue ATF raffle tickets today. We'll see you tomorrow.
When you're approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management.